We're recording!
We're recording together! Hey guys! Hey everybody, welcome to Two Black Girls, One Rose.
Where two black-ass girls invade the whitest show on earth, The Bachelor. I'm Natasha.
And I'm Justine.
And we just watched Colton's finale.
The most explosive finale of the franchise?
What
did they say?
I mean, every year they say it's the most dramatic. This shit was actually dramatic.
It was a lot.
It literally was. Ooh, Lord, it was a lot.
Yeah.
Should we go into our initial thoughts?
Let's go into it, friend.
What are your thoughts, friend?
So, I am so glad that Colton put up that prom picture of him. Because it explained so much of last night.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he was sobbing and saying how he wants someone to love him, and he's so conventionally good looking,
right?
That it looks odd. Like the optics of it are just so strange.
Very bizarre. Yeah.
So I'm really glad that he kind of brought us back on memory lane of like not that long ago, like not even 10 years ago.
No,
when he looked like that.
That's true.
So happy about that. He absolutely. I think is the catalyst for needing a mental health professional on the show on staff.
They do. So they do have an on-site like psychologist, but I don't know if he was going to his sessions or what. He was really struggling.
Yeah.
But they do have because on the show, that behind-the-scenes scripted show of The Bachelor.
Oh, yeah. On whatever.
On something.
Yeah.
I know everyone is saying it right now, and I couldn't even think, and I used to watch it. Whatever. They have an on-site, like, psychologist. That's, like, a thing. But, yeah, Colton was real struggling this season.
Yeah. And I feel like this is the first finale. I'm talking about part 1 here.
Okay.
I feel like this is the first finale that we've watched where there was no kiss. There was no kiss that whole episode.
Of part 1?
Of part 1.
Yeah. Yeah, it was more goodbye hugs.
It was like, a churchly side hug.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's so sad. Mm-hmm. That's so true, though.
Yep. And those are my initial thoughts.
All right, friend. So, this was a hell of a finale.
It sure was.
It actually was super dramatic.
It was. Thank you, ABC.
Thank you, ABC. Thank you, Chris Harrison. Actually spoke some truth. Mm-hmm. It became kind of predictable by the end. Like, we knew Cassie was gonna come back. Mm-hmm. We knew that they'd end up together. There's no way they were not gonna have that ending at the end.
Yeah,
like,
right. It was just how it was gonna play out.
How it was gonna play out, but we knew that was coming.
Yeah.
A big thought I have is on Cassie. Mm-hmm. That she came on the show to be on television. Absolutely. I'm very convinced of that.
Yeah.
I don't think she came for Colton.
No.
Like, some girls like, I came here because it was you. Like, I don't think she came for Colton. Mm-mm. We know she didn't come for an engagement at the end. She literally admitted that she's not ready for marriage.
She's not ready for a relationship.
We'll get into it.
We'll get into
it. Yeah. And I mean, it's questionable whether she came there for a relationship at all. Mm-hmm. And I think she 100% came there with some ulterior motives. Oh, yeah. To be on television, grow fame, become a model actress. I don't know what the hell. But shit hit the fan because a homeboy literally became obsessed with her. And she maybe sort of developed feelings for him. Maybe. So, like, her plan of action kind of started to go awry. Yeah. And that's how we ended up with this crazy-ass ending here. I'm happy they're happy.
Yes, me too.
But I'm also having trouble rooting for a girl that to me just represents just basic blondness. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know how else to say it. She's someone, she gets the privilege to merely exist. I said this I feel like I said it the same exact way when Lauren B won on Ari's. Mm-hmm. She has the privilege of merely existing, putting very little effort out. Mm-hmm. And she has this guy who just becomes literally obsessed with her, is jumping fences for her. She doesn't have to tell him how she feels. No. She literally had a scandal breakout mid-season, talk about she ain't here for the right reasons. Yep. And was talking about which she wasn't, and had a whole conversation about being the Bachelorette. She then dumps him, and she gets away with all of it.
Her dad comes back and says, fuck out of here, what are you doing?
Her dad comes back, she literally says, I can't wait to get the fuck out of here, to go home to my family, and literally says she cannot wait to get home and to be done with all of this. Yeah. And in the end, she still gets everything that she wants.
Yeah. In the end, he moved to LA.
He moved to LA for her. Like, something about this, like, they want to be happy, but I also just feel like the whole thing is so unfair.
Yeah.
And very triggering as a black woman who literally had to watch Tayshia jump out of a plane, jump off a cliff, explain to her black ass daddy why she's bringing this man home, open up about a full-on divorce that she just went through, declare her love, literally do the absolute most, and all of that gets overlooked in favor of this like textbook blonde SoCal like beach girl who at the end of the day we still don't know shit about.
No, I just know she's a speech therapist.
And that's it.
Yeah, a Christian one.
A Christian
But that's
one.
only if you research.
That's only if you research.
Yep.
You learn some little things about her.
Yep.
We actually don't know shit about Cassie. She didn't open up on the dates and all that stuff. She had her one little date where she talked about the stigma of like not being a virgin, and then we had to do some digging around online to figure out what the fuck she was talking about. But other than that, we don't know much about this girl, and she won the whole damn thing. It's like very weird. Like, they're in love, they look in love, it was cute and all that. I'm like, yay, go love. But at the same time, I was like, this is what people be talking about. Working twice as hard. This homegirl did nothing but exist on that show. Tayshia jumped out fucking planes.
Bungee
jumped, declared her love, was ready to get married to a man even though she just got divorced. And is getting sent packing home. Like, I just have feelings. Cassie can't blame herself for being blonde and basic, but...
no, she can't. And being 23.
She is who she is. It is what it is. But as a viewer, I just have conflicting, like, feelings watching her,
understand.
basically.
I have more on that later.
Also wanted to mention, this is the second Bachelor season that we've recapped, and the second time where the girl who wins at the end, we don't know shit about. And all we know is that they have some unexplainable connection. That is so unexplainable that there's no footage. And we're just supposed to take their word for it.
And be happy.
And be happy for them. And you see them happy, so you're happy too. But at the end, I'm still sitting here feeling kind of like, so what did I just watch?
And also feeling like, who is this girl and why does she deserve all of this? I wanted to see what it was about Cassie, that he fucking jumped a fence for her, sent amazing Tayshia home. Hannah G, we didn't know shit about her, but I became a fan of her. I was like, oh, she got a little mouth on her. I like her. But we don't see any of this out of Cassie. Yet he's jumping fences and doing all these things, and it's like, they need to figure out how to edit or show these unexplainable connections, because you're trying to force me into feeling a way at the end. Like, I'm supposed to be forced into being like, oh my god, crying in love and happy for them, but I'm left feeling very just indifferent. Absolutely. Like, I look at their People magazine cover and I'm like, oh, okay, this is cute, and then I see in the upper left corner it's like J-Lo and A-Rod got engaged, and I'm like, you went over J-Lo and A-Rod? Like, what, you just moved to the same city? This isn't news. It's tough.
It's just a tough, I feel kind of like blah at the end.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just a little indifference.
And it's nothing to do with race.
No.
For me, anyway. It's because we know so much about the contestants of color who have gotten far. We knew a lot about CN. We knew a lot about Tayshia. But I don't know anything about Lauren B. still.
You would just call her Lauren B. They're talking about Cassie. Oh no, they're calling Cassie Lauren B. I was like, yes, they are white blonde, but they do have different names.
And we saw a little bit more of Cassie than we did of Lauren B. But
still, that's a weird feeling at the end. I'm just like, great. I wish I could just exist in life and not do shit and just win everything. But no, let her do her. Before we get into the recap, we do have a little bit of an announcement.
Yes. Following the Bachelorette announcements, I should say.
So, Hannah B is the Bachelorette. God help us. So, we said on last week's episode that we would not be watching Hannah B's season because we literally cannot stomach watching another millisecond of this girl.
And since making that announcement, we've gotten flooded with emails and DMs and all kind of messages out the woodwork of you guys begging us not to go, begging us to please recap Hannah B, even though she sucks. Like, please, we need this podcast. And it's been really amazing to see. It's been super humbling. It's made us realize just how much this podcast means to people.
Yeah.
Which we suspected but didn't really know until like we got a huge outpouring over the past week. And so it's given us quite a bit to think about. And so, okay, here's the thing. We love doing this podcast. We love all the positive feedback and love that we get every single day. We love the community that we've built. Justine and I genuinely love sitting here together as friends and doing this.
And
like
talking about the show.
Talking about this show. We have busy lives. We don't see each other all the damn time, but we see each other every Monday.
Yeah, yes.
To record this shenanigans, and we genuinely look forward to doing it every week as best friends. Now, contrary to popular belief, we don't get paid for this.
No.
We are ad-free because we don't have any sponsors. Our sound quality is sometimes shitty because we are in my living room in Harlem. My laptop, you might hear it in the background, that little wind sound. That's my old-ass laptop overheating. We're not in a studio. We don't pay someone to edit these episodes every week. Yeah. We don't have an intern running our Instagram and Twitter. We do all of this ourselves. This is all just the two of us. But we do it because we love the podcast. We genuinely enjoy recording. I love listening back every week and laughing to my damn self. And it seems that you guys love it too. And we really do feel like our voices were needed in this sphere and that we somehow are bringing joy to people every week. Yeah. Which is amazing and wild.
Yeah. And with all that said, this podcast is also work. Like, while it is a lot of fun, it is work. Natasha and I do have jobs, like 9 to 5 jobs, right? So we're working till at the midnight hour, as they say, for almost every day during the week, because we have to put out content, do social, edit the episodes ourselves. We got to do a lot of work for this. And it doesn't feel like work because so much of it is so much fun, and we're learning so many new skills, and we're honing skills that we've already gotten from our 9 to 5 jobs, like really amazing things. That being said, Hannah B is going to feel like work. She felt like work for that 20 minutes last night. Right. I was tweeting. I was like, what am I going to say? Yeah. Because she's not talking. Yeah. So recapping her season is going to feel like work. And while it would still be content to put out, it's just a really hard pill for us to swallow to put out an episode for recapping her every single Wednesday.
Now, Justine and I, we're very confident in the content that we put out on this podcast. We, we're very proud of the jokes and the laughter and, everything that we put out every week. And we decided that we think it's time that we try to monetize this podcast, particularly on the eve of Hannah B as the Bachelorette, as giving away our free time to watching this girl's journey for love. I think it's time to get paid. Yeah.
So there's a platform some of you may have heard of called Patreon, and it's a website where creators can create their own little webpage and do some sort of crowdfunding to have their small community pay a minuscule fee. The fees are tiny, in order for their audience to get special content. So we have decided that for Hannah B's season, we're going to create a Patreon account, get it launched. You guys will hear all about it. And if we get a minimum of 2,000 patrons, at the minimum fee of $5 a month, we will recap her season on Patreon. And we will post all of these details on every platform that we have when available. But we just want to ask you guys to support us during Hannah B season, because we have recapped not only The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, But we've also done things like Bachelor Winter Games that was going on during the Bachelorette. We've done Bachelor in Paradise, which is a lot of work because that's 4 hours of content every week. And we know it's worth more than free. We know it. You guys are not going to get, well, who knows if you'll get ads. Hopefully, well, a little coupon code. But as of right now, you guys get an ad-free podcast. And yeah, I think it's worth the $5 a month.
Yeah, I think we value our work. We know that we put out more than content that is worth more than free.
Oh yeah.
And so we're just asking you guys to also put trust and value in us as well and support us in this potential quest of recapping Hannah B's season. Yeah. So that's our plan in early May, maybe late April. Look out on our social media for all the details regarding our Patreon account. Again, if we get 2,000 patrons, just 2,000 of y'all willing to give $5 a month, we will happily recap Hannah B's season just for those of you on Patreon.
Yep.
Okay.
So don't miss out.
Don't miss out. More details to come. Okay, all that being said, same old, rate, review, subscribe. That's the only thing we ask for right now, is to rate us, review us, and subscribe to us. Hit us up on Twitter. Even in our little hiatus, we'll be live on Twitter, I'm sure, recapping or live tweeting other reality mess. Yep. Our handle's the number 2 BLK girls, the number 1 Rose.
And you can email us even during the hiatus. You can shoot us an email at the number 2 black girls, the number 1 Rose at gmail.com. And for IG and Facebook, it's the same.
Yep. Tag us in your story. This is our finale episode, y'all. It's a mega one. It's long. I literally have 17 pages of notes on Google.
Oh my god.
It's insane. Just see. Look at all that.
That is crazy.
18 pages of notes.
Oh my god.
So this is an epic episode that we want to put out for y'all. So tag us in your story, share us with all your friends. And we are still selling merch. So if you haven't gotten your merch, you want to get that in time for Hannah B's possible season.
Ooh, yeah.
Go to our Teespring account. It's www.teespring.com/2blackgirls1rose.
Yep.
All right, so before we get into the recap, we do have some lovely church announcements.
We have a lot of church announcements this week. So, firstly, I want to shout out all of our international listeners. We have been getting a ton of listeners in the inbox from all over the world, which I think is amazing. A lot of people whose Bachelor season is on now. I think Germany's on right now, so we're getting a lot of people.
That, hot black guy.
Yeah. So we're getting a lot of people from there. We're getting people from Australia. We're getting people from all over the place. And it still boggles my mind that there are people in Australia listening to 2 Black Girls, 1 Rose. Like, that is crazy to me.
Yeah.
There's 8 black people in Australia. So, thank you so much for the support and the love. And we can't believe our community is global. So thank you. And then I do have a soapbox to get on real quick.
Oh, shit.
This was triggered by an email sent from this girl named Megan, so shout out to Megan. But we get this email, this tweet, this Instagram DM a lot, which is basically the single black woman who's watching this show, who is most likely older than 23, who is getting extremely frustrated, extremely emotionally triggered by this, exactly what Natasha said earlier in her initial thoughts, of this mediocre white woman who's sitting there even crying about how mediocre she really is. And this black woman is in the SUV with her eyelashes falling off going home because this man just couldn't see it with the two of them. And so we get emails from black and brown women who are studying for their masters, who are studying for their doctorate, who are triggered by this show. And I think that during this season, in particular for Colton's season, we were saying things that may have come off as harsh towards some of the contestants of color. Tajwan, Onyeka, for not putting themselves out there enough.
Courtney.
Courtney. And not, saying, oh, can I interrupt you? Can I have your time? Da, da, da. Because it's the name of the Bachelor game. That's what you're supposed to do. In reality, those young women probably don't feel nearly as validated in their everyday life as the women who they're trying to interrupt for time. And that's a real thing, especially when you're mic'd up and going on TV, knowing that not only are you the minority, but that people are literally looking at you differently. And we see that with Rachel's basic Instagram followers. Like, I feel like she just hit 1 million.
I don't think she's at 1 million yet.
That's fucking crazy.
Which is
she
wild.
Works all the time. She's on ESPN. She's working all the time. Becca, I've never seen her.
Yeah.
We didn't even see her yesterday. Anyway. Yeah. So sometimes it's hard to find that validation within yourself, to motivate yourself, to think you're beautiful when the rest of the world is telling you you are the complete opposite. And I can only speak for myself when I say that I am a plus-size black woman with braids. I love to exercise. I work in tech. Trust me, I feel this every single day of waking up and being like, wow, I'm not only the norm, but I'm supposed to be, like, unacceptable. I'm supposed to not be in any single space that I go to every single day. So while it's definitely the name of the Bachelor game to go up and say, oh, excuse me, can I have some time? Or like, no, can you give us 5 more minutes? To say that to like the youngest, thinnest, smallest white woman you've ever seen in your life while you're sitting there talking to this like big white man who's probably talked to maybe 5 black women in his life. He's never left the country, guys. I'm just gonna assume. Yeah. So it is not the easiest thing. And that being said, for all the listeners out there who feel triggered by that, I know that it's not easy as a woman or as a person of color, shout out to the guys who listen to us, to ask for anything that rightfully belongs to you when the resources are giving out left and right to the mediocre. But I encourage all of our listeners to keep asking and keep even demanding for what you want and what you know you deserve. And I'm speaking as someone who has overcome incredible financial, physical, and emotional obstacles. A lot of this while we were doing this podcast.
True, y'all don't even know be going on past that story, yo. We living lives out here. Living real lives, going through real ass shit.
This is real shit. We're really going through it. I mean, we're young, black, in our 20s in New York City. We are going through it. And I just want to encourage you that while burnout is real, so is tenacity. So don't let watching these regular ass white bread, and by white bread I mean mentality, not in color, immature young women frolicking around the world following this scaredy cat fool of a man let you think that you don't deserve love from some fine ass, smart ass, good dick having ass man that you deserve. Don't let them think you'll always be the second choice to the younger, blonder, and frankly dumber woman. And if you feel that way, chances are it wouldn't have worked out in the first place. So you better dump him first. And that's it. I'm off my soapbox.
Preach! Love it. So true.
Yeah.
So true. And like we've talked previously on the podcast about, because we get a lot of young listeners. I know a lot of y'all in college or maybe just left college. Yeah. And like both Justine and I both went to predominantly white colleges where we saw The Bachelor happening every day. Going to frat parties. Them little white boys are scooping up these mediocre ass girls. And ain't nobody checking for us. So like we totally get the feeling of being overlooked and just questioning, like, why am I not enough?
Yeah.
Or, like,
what do I have to do?
What do I have to do? Do I have to literally jump out of plane to get his attention? Oh, still didn't get his attention. Great, I'm gonna go home anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like you can't take this shit to heart at all. Particularly in this show, this shit is like, you can't internalize any of this. You just have to know that there's somebody out there that's good for you and will recognize your worth and not measure your worth on this like fake ass standard of success that this show has purported it to be, which is that only white women can find love.
Right.
So so we know that's not true. And
exactly.
Just wanted to emphasize that.
Yep. For everybody in the inbox, everybody listening.
Yes.
Just wanted to get that out there.
Sweet.
So, in the regular church announcements, shout out to Vivian Anjali, maybe? Ruby M, Amanda, Grace, Ren, Marcella, and then Monica actually sent us an email about the breakdown of Colton's finances, potential finances.
Monica's like a financial advisor and handling my taxes.
Yeah, right? That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, taxes is, we're in the middle of it right now. Yeah, all right, Monica. And then also shout out to Mary and Peter, who were actually commenting on our Facebook. You guys can, I guess, all see this. If you go on to one of the memes that we made on Facebook, Peter is Mary's dad and got very upset that Mary would not ask for permission from her potential husband. And Peter said, well, I'm saying no. I don't care who he is. And when I tell you that shit had me dying, I screenshotted it immediately. Sent it to Natasha. I was like, do you see what's going on the Book of the Faces?
Oh my god. I love it.
So funny.
Father, daughter. Love it.
And I love that they listen to the podcast maybe together. Who knows?
I mean, how did the dad see? He must have he must have liked the Facebook page. Maybe. I have no clue.
Yeah,
but I enjoy it.
That's it. That's it for church announcements.
Yeah. I did want to give a quick shout out to, I think we shouted her out last week, Taylor.
Yes.
Who sent us a very lengthy email. The email of emails.
Yep.
She's a pageant girl. She gave us a whole play-by-play. She's a black pageant girl.
Yeah.
Gave a whole play-by-play of like the pageant world, the history, the
black pageant world, the white pageant world,
Miss USA versus Miss America. The whole spiel. It was wild. 2 things I learned was competing in Washington, D.C. as a black woman apparently is like refreshing because most of the people are black apparently. I didn't know that. She called it a blackety black uplifting time to compete in D.C. versus like other territories or other states.
Okay.
Didn't know that, but makes sense because D.C. is hella black.
Yeah.
Also, one thing that was very disturbing, she talked about how this current Miss USA is like a white blonde woman, and apparently the last 2 Miss USAs were black women. And when the new girl won, a director of like the pageant world went on like a very popular Facebook page and wrote "finally back to normal" with like the emoji of like the blonde white haired emoji thing. Wild.
Oh my
God. So I can only imagine like the rampant racism and just problematic ass shit happening in the pageant world. Ooh. Which is kind of in the same with the Bachelor world. You can't internalize none of this shit.
No.
This is all based on make-believe standards of beauty and make-believe standards of like who's worthy of love. But yeah, it sounded very like that world is just like a beast. Within itself.
And he's still the director? He still has a job?
I don't know.
Oh, that's crazy.
I don't remember what the takeaway from that was, but wild. So thanks, Taylor, for that amazing email.
Yeah.
No Bachelor Nation news. Let's just get into this.
Let's just go.
Recap. Who Lord. So we 2 parts. Part 1 and 2 we're recapping right now. So we're gonna be here for a while, y'all. So we open up to live studio audience. Chris Harrison, how will it all end? Will Colton still lose his virginity?
Oh my God.
Because that's what we're here for, folks.
Yeah.
That's literally
what
it.
we're here to watch.
Oh my God. So we open up with a video where they're like looking back at the whole season, like the limo entrances, the first night in the house, pretty much how we got to like our final 3 ladies. Yeah. And then we kind of see the drama between like Kaylin and Cassie, them not being ready, all the way to the fence jump, which is what we open back up to. Colton again jumping the fence. The producers are shouting, "Colton, come back!" hollering after this man. You hear these little Portuguese dogs barking in the background.
Oh my gosh, the dogs.
Colton is nowhere in sight.
Nope.
It is 11:40 at night, Chris Harrison said. Chris Harrison is asking some random Portuguese men in a van if they've seen anyone come this way. Like, they literally have no idea. They didn't see which way Colton went. Because by the time the cameras got over the fence, he was gone. All I kept thinking was, it would be so funny if Colton, like, hitched a ride to the airport and literally left. Like, left everything behind, got his passport, and just booked it home.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing.
Would have.
Oh, my gosh. So the producers, they hop in a car and they are on the hunt for Colton.
Yeah.
Cameras are shaking. It's like we're in one of those kind of like found footage, like horror movies.
Yes.
Yeah. Someone in our DM said it looked like an episode of Cheaters. You remember Cheaters?
Yes. Yeah, it looks like one of those shows on like Oxygen or something.
Oh, yeah. So the producers are on the hunt. They're talking about, oh my God, he ripped off his mic. We're so disappointed. Literally looking in the bushes for this man. They're driving. They finally spot this like dark figure walking down the road. It's Colton.
It's him.
They finally found him. So a producer, she gets out the car. She goes running after him.
I can't believe they sent a girl.
He seemed like his closest ones were all women.
Yeah, still though. In this situation, they probably needed at least 3 dudes to just tackle him.
Oh, you mean like actually get him to stop walking? Yeah. Yeah, so the girl goes after him. He literally just like shrugs her, pushes her off.
He shoves her down the street.
No.
Like, no.
I'm not okay.
Yeah.
All the while he's saying this, my man is moving.
Oh, yeah.
He hasn't lost a stride in his step.
No momentum.
He has not lost a step, has not slowed down. He is moving. Eventually, the cameras and Chris Harrison catch up to him. And Colton just says flat out, like, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah, I'm not doing this no more.
Very matter-of-factly. So they eventually stop walking. Chris Harrison asks, like, do you want to be done with the whole thing? Like, what do you mean by done exactly? And Colton just says, yeah. Like, very plain speak.
Yeah.
Like, he is done. He is done with this show. Yeah. Like, he's done with all of y'all. He's done. So they manage to get him back in the car, and, you know, they drive off. Or before they drive off, Colton is standing and just saying, like, he's been through enough. He said, I've been through enough of knowing I'm not enough for a long time.
Yep.
And then that's when Chris Harrison
so sad.
attempts to do therapy on him. Yes, this was a very sad moment.
So sad. I was like, wow.
And where's the therapist? Like, where's the on-call?
Where is the therapist?
Chris Harrison is not enough. He is not a licensed mental health professional. No. Colton is literally in the midst of like a mental breakdown. For him to say, like, I've been through enough of not being enough, like, he needs to talk to somebody professional.
Yes.
Like, can we not? But what makes this whole thing sleazy is, like, at the end of the day, this is a television. Like, they're recording a TV
they're
show.
still filming.
They're still filming a show.
Yeah.
Like, never mind the fact that he's literally having a mental breakdown.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta get that shot.
And ripped his mic back off. I know there were at least 2 booms waiting to catch that sound.
It's so true. So that's the priority, not that he's having a mental break right now.
No.
So I felt...
But I know the people in the way back, like the people who don't have to go and get anybody during these situations, like the executive producers, I know they were in the back like,
cheering, champagne, this is good TV, he jumped that fast. Oh, they're loving it. Loving it. Poor Colton. His brain is literally fried. His emotions are like in shambles. Jesus. So they do eventually get in the car with him and they drive off. So the next day, back at the resort, Chris Harrison knocks on Colton's door. Colton just has a face of just doneness. He's still done. He's still done. Did you get any sleep last night? A little. Last night was wild. Yeah. He's giving very little.
Poor guy.
Very, very little. So Colton eventually explains, like, you know, I just needed time to be alone and process everything, like, my whole relationship with Cassie. And then he says, last night I didn't want to go on without her. And he explains how, like, in the past year...
Go on?
Go on?
What do you mean? Like, live?
That's on my hold. We might really need to get a specialist in the room.
Someone here.
That language was very dramatic. Like,
oh, my goodness.
He explains how in the past year I've gone through a lot. Every time something goes right for me, it seems to be followed by something bad.
Again, well, there's so many quotables for the therapist to work with here.
So it's like good content for sitting on the couch, not with fucking Chris Harrison. So he said he knew something was off, like the minute she came walking up to him, the minute she said she talked to her dad, he knew in that moment that she was going to say she was going home. And then, like, regarding his other relationships, he said, you know, I was falling in love with Tayshia, I was falling in love with Hannah G, but I fell in love with Cassie. Cassie shut my heart off.
Woof.
So, Colton then attempts to explain why he thinks Cassie left. So he basically what he said to Chris Harrison was, being in a relationship with 2 other women and not giving Cassie that certainty that she needed was what was holding her back.
I'm sorry.
I laughed and was side-eyeing him the minute he said that.
Like, you weren't listening.
You were not listening.
You weren't listening to what she was saying.
Nah. You came up with your own theory in your head of why she left.
That validates you.
Right.
That makes it not only your fault, but also makes it, fixable.
Right. I'm gonna just go break up with these 2 other girls. That's what she wanted.
Yes.
Cassie never mentioned them 2 other girls as the reason for why she wanted to leave.
She sure didn't. Nope.
So Chris Harrison, messy as he is, he spoke for all of us and was like, do you really think that's what's holding her back? He said, what if it's that she's just not that into you?
Right.
Ooh, he's so messy. I love it. So Colton says, well, I think I can read people pretty well, and I think she does love me. And
oh my God, this poor guy.
If you're so good at reading people, you didn't pick up on her doubt the whole damn time.
Right, exactly. Even when Kirpa told you flat out, she's talking shit and she's not ready.
Right. You didn't pick up on all that.
Your psyche was too good. You decided to eliminate her. Okay, yeah. Okay, all right. Mm-hmm.
So Colton, he continues on. Life without Cassie isn't complete. Cassie completes me.
My God.
Just really, really big, huge statements for someone that, in hindsight, you didn't spend that much time with.
Right.
Is this like a love at first sight kind of thing?
I've never even thought about experiencing this. And how the level of drama that he's...
This is very dramatic.
...displaying. Because this is a lot.
She completes me.
Completes you? You were incomplete before Cassie?
I was incomplete before Cassie. She now has completed me.
Right.
And I cannot go on without her. That is a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure to put on one person. Mm-hmm. One person that you barely know. That you've been splitting your time with many other girls with up until very recently. Just a lot. It was just was this love at first sight?
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that even is true, but I don't know my thoughts on love at first sight. But
what did they talk about?
Yeah, that made you get to that point for you to realize, wow, there are voids in my life that she's now filling.
She is filling.
Just a lot. There was a lot of big statements he was saying. So where does that leave us? Colton said, I made a mistake in the past. I didn't fight enough for someone I love, and that's what I'm gonna do today. So as soon as he said that, immediately I was like, so this is what we're gonna be watching for 4 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Chasing Cassie and breaking up everybody else.
Yep.
I immediately was just not excited for this. Yeah. Oh my God. I don't want to watch you begging for this girl's love. For your own pride and my pride as well.
I know. But it did keep getting funnier and funnier when it was not supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
It's not funny that he was I just can't go on without her. But I was in my house. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? You can't go on without her. You really feel like you can't go on without her?
This is where I blame the editors and producers. Because you have this another unexplainable love that you didn't do a good job of showing the viewers. Because we're sitting here laughing as he's saying these things. And we don't see it.
Yeah, no.
I don't know. So Colton, he's in his confessional. He says, last night Cassie walked away from me, and I feel the loneliest I've ever felt.
Ever.
I want to be with Cassie. I love her enough to risk everything. I want to tell her and show her, and now I know what I need to do.
Right.
So we then see Colton riding in a van, and then he's on somebody's doorstep, knocks on the door, opens up the door, it's Tayshia. Mm-hmm. So poor little Tayshia, she's surprised, she's all smiled, she's excited to see him. They go outside and they sit, and he just looks like he's in distress. So he starts crying, and Tayshia all of a sudden is what is going on?
Yeah. It was this, you mean when they shut the door?
This is when they're outside still.
Oh, they're outside, okay.
So, yeah, he starts breaking down. Tayshia now knows that something is wrong, that she doesn't need to be excited because shit's about to hit the fan. And I just felt I felt bad for both of them in this moment, honestly, because he was literally, his whole emotions are in shambles. And mainly for her, of course, because we know what the hell's about to happen, but the two of them just look sad and pathetic, so... Colton said to Tayshia, "You're incredible. I owe you the respect and honesty of where I'm at right now. I knew I was falling for you, but in my heart, I can't be in love with two people, and my heart with somebody else is with somebody else. I love Cassie."
I really appreciated that.
I did too. Yeah. I wrote in my notes that I thought this was pretty well articulated for Colton.
So. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
It was very clear.
And frankly, for any man.
Yeah, right.
Because as we know, men don't like to look bad. They don't want to seem like they're not the nice guy. But this was like, no, I'm in love with Cassie.
Yeah, he didn't sugarcoat it, which I appreciated. Which is hard to look in Tayshia's eye and say, I love Cassie. That is horrible to say and see her crumble before you as you say that. But I love that he didn't sugarcoat it. He just was very clear to the point, and he provided all of the answers in that statement right there. Like, sure, she can have clarifying questions and things like that, but he said what he needed to say. So Tayshia, she just kind of like smiling and nodding and it was just speechless and clearly very uncomfortable with them sitting there in front of all these cameras. As he's like breaking up with her in front of everybody. So she asked them if we can talk without all the cameras. One thing that happened on this season was a lot of producer camera intervention.
There was a lot of breaking of the fourth wall.
A lot of breaking of the fourth wall.
Oh my gosh.
Tayshia straight up said, "Can we talk without these cameras?"
Yeah, like, this is a show.
This is a show. Let's go inside. This is some bullshit, because this is my life right now. So they head inside, but of course their mics are still on. So we hear everything. And inside, we just hear Colton breaking down.
Sobbing.
My nigga was crying, sobbing tears. Taysia's comforting him.
How?
Which is like, what the fuck?
I can't believe this.
Like, he's crying so damn hard that he hasn't even created space for her to mourn. There's no space for her to be devastated because he's in such distress. Like, wild. So Tayshia, she basically is just having to comfort him and comfort her own damn self because he's fucking useless at this point. He can't comfort nobody. He can't even keep himself together. And Tayshia, she's just like, I don't even know what to say. Like,
I know. It really showed to me how incredibly safe he feels with Tayshia.
Yes.
They closed the door and he was like, oh my God, thank God it's you.
And just let free.
More than he did with the producers, more than he did with Chris Harrison, like more than he did with anybody else. Really,
you can see their level of connection or just like trust that they established in that very short period of time between the two of them. So she's just like, I don't know what to say. Then we start to hear her crying, which was so sad. And she was just saying, like, I don't want to go through this. Like, and just bawling, basically. And the two of them just crying together in symphony. And then finally she stops and she's like, so is this it?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And so, they open back up the door and we see them hugging and, still crying and saying goodbye. And the whole thing was just sad. Like, she looked strong, and then as they're hugging again, she's breaking down again. It's just devastating. Like, she's trying to be strong for herself, but this fucking sucks.
Oh my God. And this is what? Her second, maybe third breakup in like 2 years?
Yeah.
This is a lot.
God.
This is a lot for this girl.
A lot, because she very recently divorced. And then she brought this man home to meet her black-ass daddy who was already looking at her sideways for going on the damn show. Desmond. And now pulling this shit. It's like, what the hell? Why did I do this? Why?
Yeah.
So then we get that clip from the preview of her crying and saying, it's okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yes, to herself. Because his useless ass was sans therapy. therapy somewhere in Portugal crying to himself with a box of Kleenex.
Right. Now we know why in that scene she's crying, saying it's okay.
And talking to herself, saying it's okay.
Talking to herself, comforting herself.
Jesus Christ.
Lord have mercy. So poor Tayshia finally boards the black SUV and gets driven away. Colton's on the edge of the driveway, hands on his knees, crying. This dude is just sobbing all over Portugal. A mess. So at that point, we go back to the live studio audience. Mm-hmm. Everyone in the audience is just stunned, silent. And Chris Harrison announces that Tayshia's here, and she'll be meeting Colton for the first time since Portugal. Mm-hmm. So after the commercial break, Tayshia, she's sitting in the hot seat, looks beautiful.
Amazing.
Gorgeous. Yeah. Side-swept hair. She had that cute little ear cuff.
Yeah. Ear cuff. Yeah, it was
Loved
cute.
It. Her dress was like gold, nude, bedazzled kind of like thing.
A little sheer,
just amazing. So she was watching it backstage for the first time she was seeing any of that footage. And she said, it was difficult. I obviously didn't want my journey to end. Mm-hmm. And she said seeing him at the door, at first she was excited, but then when she got to look at his face and realized he was shaking.
Oh my God, because he'd be shaking.
He'd be shaking. Shaking like a leaf. Gave his whole self away. That's when she knew that this was not going to go good.
No.
This was not going well. So Chris Harrison asked her, which I wanted to know too, like, what was it about Colton? Like, what? Because you've been through a whole divorce and everything. Like, what was it? And so she said, she's been divorced before, and so she obviously didn't take any of this lightly. Mm-hmm. But, Colton checked off a lot of important boxes for me to be able to bring him home. Still know what them important boxes.
Don't know what them boxes are.
Still didn't get the clarity I needed, but I'm gonna just put faith in this girl that she knew what she was doing. Mm-hmm. And enough to bring him home to her family who just went through some mess with her.
Exactly,
so, well, you can take that from her. So, messy Chris Harrison, who ain't shit, said, what was it like when he said that he was in love with Cassie?
Oh my God, this question.
Stabbed this girl in the heart.
Yeah.
Jesus. So she said, it hurt. Mm-hmm. I feel like I laid it all out there. Yep. I went outside of my comfort zone. Literally jumped out a goddamn plane for this nigga.
Yep.
But, I knew how hard it was for him to admit that, so I knew I had to be there for him.
I don't know how she knew that.
This is where women...
Yeah.
And black women, particularly.
Yeah.
We just be raising every damn body. No credit for it. Where women get all the praise because we always take on the emotional baggage of men and put our own feelings to the side, our own needs to the side. Homegirl's literally getting broken up on national television after she brought this nigga home after getting divorced and is sitting here right now saying, I felt the pain that he was going through. I know how hard it was for him.
So I had to put my feelings aside.
For his ass.
Who was breaking up with me.
Breaking up with me. And humiliating me in front of the whole world. Like, wild.
Oh my God.
And so, Chris Harrison, he asked, you were taking care of him. He was super emotional. And she said, I've been in this situation before. Colton knew what he wanted then. And so I just had to support him in that. Again.
Yeah, again.
Women are strong. Men be fragile as shit. And literally cannot survive without us.
Yeah.
I wholeheartedly believe that.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. No, for sure.
And the fact that she said she's been through this before, like, she's been through this bullshit ass mess before.
Her ex-husband cheated on her.
And probably cried and cried and cried all about it. And she had to comfort his dumb fucking ass and then go out and repair her own self.
Yes.
Because he's useless.
Yeah.
Lord. So, after all that, suddenly, Chris is like, well, Colton's here. Welcome, Colton! Breathe.
No transition.
No. That shit scared me. So I know Tayshia was like, shit, can I get a breather? Yeah. So before you know it, Colton's on stage. They're sitting together for the first time since Portugal. They're sitting very awkwardly on the couch. And Tayshia just said she's like, I have one question, that I have for you. I thought we had something really special. We shared a lot of memories, from bungee jumping to, like, the lanterns in Thailand, skydiving, you meeting my family.
Oh my God, I forgot about the lanterns.
The lantern thing, that was cute.
Cassie never did no shit like that.
Nothing. Nada. Anyway. Nothing. So, I just don't understand what was missing. And this question, I didn't really like her approach to the question.
Okay.
Because to me, I feel like she was belittling her relationship. She was making it like, we did all these cool things together, rather than focusing on the depth of their connection.
Yeah.
So, because she came in with we went bungee jumping, we did this together, like, what about all of that? Like, what else was missing? And it gave him an easy out to just be like, cool, we had great memories, but I had a stronger connection. Like,
yeah, right.
I wanted her to be like, we had a strong connection. We talked about this. We talked about that. I shared this with you. What the fuck else did you need? Like,
yeah.
So I was kind of like, Tayshia, I didn't like the approach, but whatever. That's how she went into it. So
yeah.
But yeah, Colton basically said like, yeah, our memories were awesome. We had a good foundation, but I had to just honor my feelings, and I gave all myself to Cassie, and I just had too much respect for you to be half in with you. So that's what I had to do. Which makes sense. His explanations make sense.
Yeah, they do.
They suck to hear.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. His heart was strongly with somebody else, and you can't put these girls through it, so.
Right.
He was so headstrong with Cassie, he had to let these girls go, so. So Tayshia, always the bigger person. She says, I just wish the best for you. I won't take anything I learned for granted. I'm proud of the woman I became. And I really look forward to a really exciting relationship.
Ooh, that was a jab.
That was a jab. But also in my head, I was like, Tayshia for Bachelorette.
Like, why?
Please.
Why not? Why
Oh my
not?
God. If anyone's deserving of this, it is her.
Yeah, of like guys fawning over her for once because she has put herself out there to the nth degree so many times. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was Tayshia. Maybe we'll see her on Paradise.
I hope not. No, I hope we see her on the next Bachelorette.
As the next Bachelorette.
Or I see her wedding pictures on Instagram.
Right. Yeah. Maybe she'll go back to Homeboy that she broke up with before she went
Chad or whatever
Chad,
his name
Chase,
was.
whoever. Go back to him maybe. So yeah. Peace and love to Tayshia.
Yes, love Tayshia.
Time for a Hannah G breakup.
Hannah G. Ooh, this one was tough.
This was tough.
Yeah.
This was tougher than I thought because I didn't really know who the fuck Hannah G was.
Yeah.
Big ass, she's cute, but I don't really know much besides they had a good physical connection.
Yes, right.
But yeah, let's get into it. So Hannah G, she's been left in the dust. She's been sitting in this villa for about 2-3 weeks now, waiting for her turn. Colton done jumped the fence, been going through all kind of mess, and she's sitting here on this couch writing her journal, a whole cute little red top.
She's been in that red top for 3 episodes now.
Forever. Talking in her little interview, saying how she's so looking forward to her overnight date.
Oh my gosh, I just love him. I can't wait to tell him I love him.
Can't wait to tell him that she's in love. Poor girl. I felt so bad for her because them producers sitting behind that camera, they already knew. They knew everything that was going on, and they have her out here looking so crazy talking about she's in love when they know who's about to come knocking on the door. So Colton comes knocking on the door. And Hannah G, of course, she's very pleasantly surprised and so excited to see him. They sit to have a chat. And that's when you can tell she knows something's up because his face can't hide shit.
No, he is the worst poker face
the
ever.
worst. So he says to her, you've been my rock through all of this.
How? What do you mean?
He said, you've helped me through the hardest times.
What are you talking about?
I didn't know what he was talking about.
Because that seems like, to me, that title belongs to Tayshia. The way that he broke down with Tayshia.
It's almost like she's been the rock or something.
That's what it feels like from his breakdown of emotions. But, again, we don't have anything to go off of.
Right. But yeah, he's telling Hannah G she's been his rock, and then says, but unfortunately, I can't be in love with 2 people, and I'm at a stronger point with someone else than I am with you. I'm in love with Cassie.
I like how he said it.
I really do.
Yeah. He didn't leave it up for Cassie or Tayshia, or for Tayshia, Cassie, or Hannah G. He was like, no, it's Cassie.
It's Cassie.
You're gonna see it in 2 months.
Yeah.
It's Cassie.
I appreciate the directness. It really fucking sucks and hurts, but I appreciate that he's making it very blatant. I'm in love with Cassie. I'm so sorry, but this is where I'm at. Hannah G's face at this moment was the epitome of what the actual fuck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I wrote down. I said, she looked at him like, nigga, are you really doing this shit right now for me?
Yes!
Are you really doing this shit right now for real? You really doing this right now?
Yes, that was her face. It wasn't sad. It wasn't upset. It was, you are actually doing this right now. My nigga, are you really doing this? Like, I would want her to be like, my nigga, you really doing this? I would have gave her the pass. Oh my god.
Like the Alabama
will come out. Shit. Oh my god.
You know what you saw too? Her mom. Remember her mom was like a hard ass?
Her mom, yes. Her mother, the lunch lady.
Yeah. Oh no.
She look like she don't play though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh my god. So she says to him. She flat out said to him, I didn't expect for you to say that. Like, she was totally caught off guard. Mm-hmm. Then, this is where Colton really fucked up. Dumbass Colton just had to rub salt and fucking hot sauce in the wound. He said, I didn't expect it either. I thought it was gonna be you. Ooh. And then continued on by saying, you still remind me of home.
No.
And had like this little smile on his face. Yeah. And Hannah's just she just stares back at him in like complete disbelief. Yeah. And just shakes her head and is like, why are you saying these things, Colton?
This makes it so much worse.
It makes it so, all of that is just unnecessary. Yeah. And it just feels mean. Mm-hmm. When you're staring at her and saying, I thought it was going to be you. Yeah. But actually Cassie came in and swooped out from under you and, you still remind me of home, though. Like, the fuck? That shit is just mean. Yeah. And so Hannah G, she's like, what didn't work? And he said, I don't have an answer for that. Which he doesn't. Like, there's not anything wrong with Hannah G. No. It's just he loves Cassie more. Like, it's one of those sucky explanations that it just is what it is. Mm-hmm. And that's when she said she's literally just sitting there in a complete state of disbelief that this is actually happening. She hasn't even gone on her overnight date. Nope. That's what sucks. Mm-mm. She's getting broken up with before she gets a chance at an overnight date. Yeah. So she's completely thrown off guard. Yeah. And she says, I can't believe this is happening right now.
And they had such as you said earlier, a strong physical connection. So I know she was looking forward to that overnight.
I know she was thrown down. I know she got a whole carry-on full of goodies. Yep. She had a kid. And, he just continues, you've helped me through so much. You've made me better. Hannah G's response, that's what I do. I make everybody better, and they don't want to stick around. Poor girl. Felt so sad for her.
I did. I felt sad, but then I was like, girl, you're 23.
You are 23.
Can you name more than one person
that you made better?
Like, what do you mean?
She's got like a whole world of experience of making that better. It's like one boyfriend that you did this to, girl. Stop. And so then that's when she starts to like break down. She's like, I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I opened up. No. I can't believe I actually believe that it could be us. Yeah. Like, I can't believe you're doing this. And she's just rambling on and just like bawling at this point. And Colton too is getting real emotional. He's like, I'm saying goodbye to someone who loves me. What am I doing? Like, I don't want to lose you, and I don't know if I'm making the right decision. Like, he actually said that out loud. Oh my god. Which is like, you don't know if you're making the right decision.
Yeah, all that is true, and you should have wrote that down maybe in your journal, sir. Yeah. Maybe not
say it out loud to this girl here. Let's keep that internal as an internal thought, and not share that with the world. Yeah. And then Hannah G, what she's really most upset about is what she said. She's like, I'm going home right now, and we didn't get to explore. Like, I'm here telling you I'm in love with you as I'm about to leave. Right. And that, I felt bad because she's getting her time cut short. Yeah. She's one date short from getting a full shot at Colton.
Gosh. And these girls have no internet, no friends to talk to, no nothing. All they're doing is sitting there imagining what they're going to do later. Mm-hmm. And then he shattered it into a zillion pieces.
Yes. Came in and said, you're leaving right now. God. I'm in love with Cassie. Like, talk about shooting someone in the fucking heart. Like, oh, God. So, he's still saying he doesn't know if he's making the right decision. I hope that I am. Just shut up, Colton, at this point. Like, please. And then he finally says something right. I appreciated. He said, you don't deserve to be anybody's backup plan. You don't deserve to be second. No. Which, Hannah G, this is not helping her at this point, but it's true.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true for anybody.
That's true. Like, he's telling you right now, you're the plan B.
Yeah.
You don't deserve this.
Right.
Like, there's nothing you can say or do right now to make me not be more in love with Cassie.
Right,
like,
right.
I'm obsessed with her. That obsession's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And you don't deserve this. So, like, for your own good, you need to leave. Like, so they hug it out. You know, he leaves. Colton is crying hard as shit at this point.
Yeah.
He's walking out. My nigga almost toppled down the hall.
I know.
He had to stop and lean on a pole just to bow. Just to get a good cry out. And said, what am I doing? What am I doing? Because right now he is now, at this point, said goodbye to 2 good women who love him. And he is now going after someone who left him.
Who are so willing to, these 2 women, to give him this plan that he thought he wanted, and that he kept saying. He kept cheersing, my wife is in here.
My wife is in here.
He kept cheersing, oh, I'm gonna have a family one day, and this, that, and the other. And now he's chasing after somebody who didn't even come here for a relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
that is wild.
Yeah.
That, and like for like Tayshia and Hannah G, to be fair, they probably could have both came on the show too, like not 100% ready, but in going through the process with Colton being so ready, that almost makes you like, okay, I think I'm ready too. Like so they probably could have forced themselves into readiness as well. And now
to
they're
at least wear the ring.
To at least. Exactly. And now they're at the point where they're ready, and they forced themselves to get ready, and now he's like, actually, no, I don't want any of these things anymore. I'm going to go pick that girl over there who, I don't even know if she wants to be my boyfriend, but I'm going to try. Like,
who you heard talking shit.
Yeah.
And, yeah. I didn't, so.
See ya. Like, oh, God, that sucks. So he crying, the producer comes and hugs him. We get that ugly Kim K cry face of Colton. He's saying, I'm scared, and he said, I don't know if I'm giving up a sure thing for something that's impossible.
You are.
Yeah.
That's
what happened. 2 sure things for a girl who walked away from you.
Who is packing
and is about to skip to her loo to get on that flight and go back home. She can't wait to get the fuck out of Portugal and away from your ass. And he said, but that's how much I love Cassie, that I'm willing to walk away from somebody that great.
Jesus.
That's some love. Real.
That's obsession.
That's obsession.
Yeah.
Infatuation.
Infatuation, yeah.
That's some next level shit. Yeah. But that's something for him to be walking away from 2 women.
Yeah.
Who are like, I am in love with you. I want to get married today.
Yeah.
And he's like, actually, I'm going to go this way to that other girl.
And I think part of that is because he actually doesn't want to get married either.
It was so easy for him to switch up and change his mind.
Yeah.
That means he did not want it that much.
He didn't want it.
Because it makes you think back to Rachel and Peter. Rachel wanted to get married.
Yep.
She was not compromising when it came to Peter. He wasn't going to give her what she wanted, and she was not going to give in to this lesser thing of not getting married. She held tight because that's what she wanted.
Yep.
Colton threw that engagement so fast to the side.
So quick.
Which lets you know that, he didn't want it that bad either.
No.
He was really going into the Bachelor machine and was doing what they wanted. And
and like saying what they wanted to say.
But he didn't really want all that.
No.
So he's crying and walking away. Meanwhile, Hannah G gets into the SUV, fresh out her mouth. I don't want to talk about anything.
Yeah. She slammed that door and said, nope, I'm not talking.
Nope. The cameras are sitting there looking at her. She said, I don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
And sat right there. That's why I knew I love this girl.
I know. I love her too.
I'm not giving you no tea. Y'all just put me through this mess. I just did a whole interview with y'all talking about how I'm in love with this man. You knew all the while he was coming to break up with me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying nothing. You're gonna ride in silence to this fucking airport. Y'all ain't gonna get shit out of me. I'll be at the woman tell all or the after final rose because I'm contractually required to be there. But aside from that, I'm not giving y'all nothing. I love her for that. Love her. And we didn't get nothing.
There was no footage. No footage. Right commercial. No.
We got shit out of her. Nope. Oh my god. So then we head back to the studio audience and we have Hannah G on stage. So she's there. Contract said she had to be there. She's there.
She's there.
And boy, did she give a satisfying hot seat.
She did. First of all, she looked
amazing. Oh my god.
She looked so good. And the thing that stood out to me was that I knew Tayshia could look that good.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Tayshia did look good, though.
She did look great. And Tayshia looked, like, phenomenal, but I knew she could look phenomenal.
Yes.
This girl, I didn't know she could look like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, her makeup was on point. The hair, loved her dress.
Yes. Yeah, loved her dress. It did look boutique-y, but it looked great.
But it was great on her. It was like a one sleeve.
It had all the elements.
Emerald green.
It was a color. It was a jewel tone. It was a one sleeve.
Everything.
It was a long sleeve. It was.
But you're right. She cleans up well, but like we didn't know she could look like this.
No, because she never like dolled herself up like that on the show. So when I saw her, I was like, okay.
She didn't look like 12 anymore.
Yeah.
She looked grown.
Yeah.
This show aged her. Shit. She's been through it. So fresh out the gate, she says, seeing him that emotional, like breaking down in the hall and stuff, she's like, that actually makes it worse.
Yeah.
Because now I'm seeing that it wasn't an easy thing for him to break up with me. And meanwhile, I was thinking he just left with Cassie, and that was like easy.
Right.
And so, she said, I was blindsided. I thought he felt the exact same way I did. He made me think that he felt the exact same way that I did. When he said, this I like. She said, when he told me, you remind me of home, when he said that to me as he was breaking up with me, it immediately made that phrase meaningless. That gave me chills.
Oh my God, I missed that.
Because he's been saying that same phrase to her all season
since first impression. Yeah.
And she's been holding on to that. He keeps saying, I'm his home. That must mean something. That must mean something.
Yeah.
And then he had to drop it again during the breakup. It means nothing.
Now it means nothing.
It means nothing. Now I'm thinking back to all the memories when you said it, and all of it was bullshit.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah, I'm glad she called that out.
Yeah.
So Chris Harrison asked, what's life been like since Portugal? And poor little thing.
I know. I felt bad.
I know. She said, it's been hard. People coming up to me saying, like, let me see your engagement ring, because they're just so convinced that she won.
Yeah.
And she's like, and I don't have one.
Which I was like, girl, what did you do during that hometown?
What do you mean?
Like, did your mom put it in the church announcements? Like, Hannah's getting married to this guy?
Well, eventually the show ends and she goes back home.
Yeah.
But they know, like, you can't say anything about the ending, whatever. But people are watching on TV, seeing her on the street.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, I'm watching The Bachelor. Like, oh my God, you must have won. Let me see your engagement ring. And she's just like, I can't say anything about the ending.
Oh, I see. Okay, yes.
She can't say shit because she ain't get a ring.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So she's dealing with that now. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm clear. Okay, because I was like, girl, who else did you tell that you were going to get engaged? What? Okay.
Everybody at home is watching on TV now.
Yeah.
So, she said she's been watching it all season long, watching the show, hoping that she'd get more closure with each week. But she's like, I just still don't know how this happened. Like, how he went in and did that. Like, and can go in and do that to me. And said she's actually even more confused now.
Rewatching.
Yeah. And so Chris Harrison asks, you're about to see Colton. Are you still in love with him? And she says, deep down, I thought it was going to be us, but right now, no. I don't know what love. I do know what love is, and it has to be a two-way street.
Yeah,
which is true. So Colton comes out. Hannah G gives him a dry little hug.
Oof, yeah,
that shit was crisp.
Yeah.
There was no warmth in that hug.
She was like, let's get down to business
Let's get
now.
down. I got questions for you, bro.
Yeah.
And so she says to him, I told you I love you, and you told me that I could trust you every step of the way. You asked for my dad's blessing. I thought it was going to be us, and you didn't give me any reason to think otherwise. You gave everyone else a chance until the very end. Why wasn't I given that same chance?
Yeah.
Basically asking, like, why was her time cut short? Because she didn't even get that overnight date. And he said, same old, like, I tried my hardest to stay open. But then I realized, like, my heart was more with Cassie. When I spoke with Cassie, and I knew I didn't want to lose her. And so keeping you as a backup plan, you don't deserve that. So, and then she asked, I have a lot of, like, what if moments in my head, and, if we had more time, do you think this would have had a different situation, or this would have been a different situation? The what ifs are pointless.
I know.
I didn't want her to ask that, 'cause that's just like, for the last 6 months or whatever, she's been going through all the things in her head. All the what ifs, the hypothetical situations, and it's like, doing all of that is pointless.
Yeah.
It's only going to drive you more crazy.
Right.
So
I think personally she did all this because she still had very strong feelings for this man.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Which was really sad to see. I feel like Tayshia was over it.
I feel like Tayshia is stronger.
Yeah.
Is stronger. She's been through this. This might be Hannah G's first, truly devastating.
That's true.
Remember her hometown, her friends were like, we've never seen you like this around a guy.
Yeah.
She might have had a little boyfriend here and there, but she's never been, in love in this way.
Yeah.
So I think this is, very devastating for her.
Yeah.
And, she says to him, it was never an option in my mind to not want to be with you forever. Cassie can't really say the same.
No, Cassie can't say any of those words.
Nope, can't say none of that. And so she kind of just talked in circles, but basically what she was asking was if we had our one-on-one date or overnight, would things have been differently? Yeah. And Colton basically said no. He's like, I felt at the time that my connection with Cassie was stronger, so nothing was really gonna change that. In a way. Hannah G still going in it. She said, what Cassie did to you is exactly what you did to me.
Oof.
And she's like, I still had false hope that you were gonna come back. That was so sad.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she
come
said,
back to where? Alabama?
To come back to, I don't know. She was saying how she would tell the producers if he tell me to brush my hair if he's coming, or she thought that he was gonna change his mind and come back the next day or the next hour or something.
Wow.
And so she still had false hope. And she said, for me, it's just been really difficult. And I was staring him down. She was pissed.
She was really mad.
She was pissed.
She was really, really mad.
I loved every second of it.
Me too. But even the fact that she would think that in her hotel room between flights or whatever, that she would want somebody who would say, I have to break up with you, I'm in love with Cassie, and then come back to her, and she would take him back.
Yeah.
She was really in love with this guy.
But also his breakup with her, as direct as it was, he was kind of wishy-washy.
Yeah.
He was I don't know if I'm making the right decision.
Yeah.
And so she
you're so secure, you make me feel like home.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. Probably all things that she said she loved about him. She always said that he makes me feel so safe. Yada, yada, yada.
So she left with a little bit of hope that maybe he will change his mind. He wasn't sure, so maybe he will come back. And all that jazz. So, Hannah G, she ends up saying, it is what it is. But what I will say was a slap in the face was when you said you thought about her when you were with other people.
Yeah.
That sucked. And Colton couldn't even say nothing.
No. And she probably edited that statement from being so vulgar and terrible down to all the way down to that, which I really appreciated.
Colton just sat up there. He looked embarrassed.
He should be
dumbfounded. And you straight up. She had to literally watch you say to Cassie, I'm dragging myself on these other dates with these other girls because all I'm doing is thinking about you.
Yeah. After hometowns,
when you just asked my dad for permission, and now you're saying that I don't mean shit, and all you do is think about Cassie when you're with me. So I'm so happy she called that out.
Me too.
I'm so happy she did not let him get away with that.
Yeah.
And he just had to sit there in that hot seat and look dumb because he literally had nothing to say. And so she just kind of turned it around. This experience has shown me how strong I am and that I deserve better, and I want someone who will jump a fence for me. Ha ha ha. As I said before, I think this experience will definitely age this girl.
Now, make her mature.
Now she's lived some life. She has lived some life.
She got a story to tell. Remember we were saying she had no story to tell? Yeah, she got a story.
She got a story. You've been through some mess now. Lord have mercy. So we go to commercial break. Chris Harrison comes back from commercial break and is joined on the stage by
this caucus of people.
Caucus of white men.
Yeah, what?
Led by Garrett Kushner, Jason, Wolf of Wall Street, Ben fucking Higgins, who's every goddamn way.
Everywhere.
So tired of him.
Oh my god.
And Blake, we love Blake. Blake was also there.
My god, in his cowboy boots, I fell in love all over again.
God, I see that.
Oh my god, I love him so much.
The cowboy boots make you love him more?
I know.
Makes me turn away.
Yeah, I know.
Why Garrett is here, why he's not been excommunicated, I don't understand.
Garrett is here.
Why are you forcing us to look at him? Why are we not done with him? He brought shame to this franchise.
Yep.
Are we the only people that see this? Okay. So Ben Higgins, they always bring him here for advice. He always talks in circles.
And he was single till about 5 minutes ago.
5 seconds ago. Why he is the keeper of advice for how to be in a relationship when he himself just got into a relationship?
Right.
I don't know.
And Sean has 2 kids.
Where is Sean? Sean is probably done with all these people, but Sean is the only person who should be given advice.
The only one.
The only one.
And if you don't get him, raise his rate, because he has them 2 kids and a wife.
Thank you.
So, I don't want to hear Ben's advice.
No. Sean is the only one with wisdom to actually give these people.
Yep.
Because he has a successful marriage and 2 kids from it.
Yep.
Thank you. Ben Higgins, talking a whole lot, saying a whole bunch of nothing. Jason, to me, I wrote down, he looked like Count Dracula.
Yeah, he did. You know, he
had the slick black hair.
He has a very specific look about him that is not for me.
Not for me,
but does it for some other you ladies. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Had on a black, like, velvet suit. He looked like a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't into it. He also talked in, like...
About nothing.
Blake also said a whole lot of nothing. Love Blake, but nobody was saying literally anything.
No.
Garrett pieced some words together.
He actually did say something I remember, though.
What did he say?
He did say, like, listen, this isn't just about what you want. This is about what Cassie wants, too.
Okay.
So you have to consider what Cassie wants as well. I said, look at Garrett celebrating Women's History Month. Wow. That was something, you learned something. That was something that nobody else said. Mm-hmm. And that Colton did need to put into consideration. That's like, true. This is not just about you. We know this is the Bachelor,
right?
But like,
she also has like opinion in all of this,
right?
Okay, Garrett. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so that whole segment I learned nothing.
Yeah, no, so, nothing. Yeah.
Back to Algarve, Portugal. Colton is standing on the balcony.
Wait, right before this, did you see that they cut to that puppy walking by itself? That's a
little yes. People have been putting it on Twitter and talking about let's watch his journey for love. A cute little Portuguese dog, street dog. Oh,
the street dog was walking alone, which was Colton.
The next scene is Colton standing on the balcony alone. He said, "I started with 30 women. Now I don't have anyone left." Cassie has left me, and I don't want to leave here without her.
Oh, God.
You don't want to leave here without anybody, because you about to look hella crazy. As you put it that way, you had 30 women, and now not anybody is left, my dude. Lord have mercy. So as he's standing up saying all this, meanwhile, Cassie is in her hotel room.
Oh, my God.
Packing up her shit.
Gushing about how excited she is.
She cannot wait to get home. She says, "I care about Colton, but I can't be here. I can't make a commitment. Colton wants a wife and a family, and I want him to have that, but I can't handle the pressure, and I don't want him to make any decisions based off me."
Meanwhile, he's made at least 8 decisions.
Send 2 girls packing.
Yep.
Made all of the moves.
Quit The Bachelor.
Hop the fence. And she said, "Yeah, I can't wait to be back with my friends and family and move on with my life."
That had me down. When she said, "I can't wait to move on with my life."
On with my life. Oh my goodness.
Meanwhile, he's outside listening with his ear to the door.
Can't wait to bust through and save his woman, allegedly.
Oh my God.
So Colton, they got this music like he's about to go into battle.
Yeah.
Jesus. Colton says, you can only be told how great you are and how much you have to offer, but you're not for me so many times. And it makes me want to stand up and fight even more. I felt him on this one.
Yeah.
I really did.
Yeah. Thinking about his journey over the past 365 days, like, this has been a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And I've been there where you, like, are so into somebody and it's not reciprocated back, and it's like, to have someone be like, "You're great, you're amazing," but like, "You're not for me."
You're just not for me.
How many times do you have to hear that before you're like, "Who the fuck is for me?" And do I need to just fight for this because your dumbass didn't see it? Like, I understood his mindset.
Definitely.
Like, I totally got it.
Yeah.
So Colton arrives at her hotel, knocks on her door. We hear her walk up to the door, and then end of part 1 to be continued. So before we get to part 2, I just want to just close out my thoughts on this whole first thing.
Yeah.
So my issue with this big gesture that he's about to do is so he's gonna do this big gesture and go after Cassie. We never are really gonna know if she takes him back because she genuinely was questioning her own feelings and thinking, "I did make a mistake, I love him," Or is she taking him back because this big gesture?
Yeah.
And it's almost making her feel pity on him.
Exactly.
Pity on him.
Yeah.
So it's like, we don't, like, I knew in the end she was going to take him back, but we're never going to know if it's because she in her heart was like, oh, I did make a mistake. Or it's because the big gesture appealed to her and she's like, all right, cool, let's do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because that's kind of what he opened with.
With the big gesture.
Yeah. Instead of just being like, I really want you to reconsider. We can, as I said before, take it day by day. We don't have to get married. He just opened with like, I jumped the fence. I broke up with the other 2 women.
Right.
I'm here alone.
Put it all out there.
And we'll get into it. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, totally.
So part 2 of the finale. So we open with Colton again knocking on Cassie's door. She opens the door with a big ass smile on her face.
And her hair done.
Her hair
was straight before. It was wand curled.
Yes. She obviously knew that he was coming.
It was so obvious.
The whole shit immediately looked staged.
Yes.
I was side-eyeing the whole thing.
From
the very beginning. Before it even started, I was like, so she knows that he was coming.
Yeah.
She wasn't actually going to leave. Like,
when did she know?
Because
we saw her packing earlier.
Right. Was that just filmed for show?
Right.
Like, so the whole thing now, I'm just like side-eyeing.
Yeah.
So they walk hand in hand. They go outside to chat. Colton says, watching you walk away was the hardest thing I ever had to watch. And that's why I sacrificed and gave up everything. I ended things with Tayshia and Hannah. As you said, opened up with a big gesture.
Yep.
Cassie, her face, at this point, she looked shocked. She was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I didn't ask you to do all that.
Yeah, right.
What? Like, so he says, I'm not asking for marriage at the end of things. I'm just asking for a second chance and for us to take it day by day and to figure it out.
I can't believe he's down at this level.
Right.
Like, let's just take it 24 hours at a time. Like, what? She could be with you today and break up with you tomorrow, and you'd be like, I had one more day. I had one more day with Cassie. Like, what?
Standards went all out the window. All out the window.
Just for his overall life. Forget the, bachelor proposal and all this. Just overall in life.
We're going day by day at this point.
Oh my God.
So Cassie, she was like, this is crazy. I can't believe you did all of this. And she's obviously smiling and happy and all that. And, she says, I feel like this whole time I've been trying to rationalize this whole thing, thinking the other girls were further along and wanting the things that you want, like an engagement. And, I just want to be sure of how I feel. And I want it to be real. And I want, and, those other girls can give you the engagement, all of that. And I'm just not so sure. I've been so unsure the whole time. So basically in this moment, she is verbatim admitting that she is not ready to get engaged, did not come here for an engagement.
Right. Yeah, not there for the right reasons. Right. But okay.
Okay, girl, you was ready to fight. 2 weeks ago, Tayshia and Kirpa made them out to look like fucking liars when deep down you knew the whole damn time that you didn't come here for no damn engagement.
Yep. And I was thinking that too. I was like, so the time frame of when he was in that weird train station in Colorado or wherever they were, of her looking him in the face, tearless, whimpering, saying, what do you mean? I can't believe they would have said that. And now saying, I'm not ready for an engagement. And you still love her like this? You have no internet, no phone, no nothing. All you can do is sit here and reminisce about exactly what happened. And you have not gone back to maybe 2 weeks ago when she said that to you?
Nope.
Anyway, that's fine.
Because he wasn't going to believe those girls anyway.
No, he wasn't.
He was going to take Cassie's word take her word for it as is.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to believe them, even though they flat out said she ain't ready. All she had to do was say a couple words, I am ready. And now 2 weeks later, she's backtracking. Actually, I'm not ready. Yeah. And that's why I walked away. Yeah. So what are you doing here? God. And so she's like, I want you to have those things. I don't want you to give up on those things. I think you could resent me in the future.
Yeah, good point.
Which is a very good point.
Yeah.
Because he's compromising a lot here for someone who said he wanted to get engaged, even though we know he didn't want to.
No,
whatever.
He didn't want all that.
So... And Colton's just compromise is what you do when you love someone. And I wanted to not just tell you that I love you, but show you.
Oh my goodness.
He's all about the show.
He is, yeah.
Showing her.
He is. And as I was watching this too, I was like, this is why they chose him. Because they knew he was wild.
They knew he was
They
wild.
knew he was so mentally unstable.
And was just gonna be out here doing backflips for anybody. So she's all smiles and eating all that shit up. They kiss and they start laughing because he tells her about hopping the fence and running from the cameras and all that stuff. So then Colton says, I want you to meet my family.
Because we're taking it day by day.
We're taking it day by day.
24 hours.
So my family's in Spain waiting for us. And I want you to come. And, she obviously says yes because she ain't got a choice. So.
Exactly.
And so, we end, or what we're going to end with, is her meeting the family instead of an engagement, which is how the show really should end.
Yeah, it should. Actually, you know what? This is a great ending. Isn't it? Yes, you're right. This is a great ending.
This is how the true ending of The Bachelor should be. You're meeting the guy's parents and his families, and he's introducing you to the family. Yeah. Not a fucking engagement.
Or the opposite, whoever the Bachelor, the
lead meets, or the person meets the lead's family.
Yeah.
So this felt more like a true, more authentic ending.
Yeah, that's true.
Than the whole engagement. And I much preferred this ending than like any other thing. So
yeah.
So they walk off together hand in hand. So I have some quick thoughts.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yes. I love. I'm happy for Colton that he's found, someone that he loves this much.
This much. My goodness.
So much. I just hate how, Tayshia and Hannah G were just, dragged into it. It just made me feel really bad for them. I don't deny that Cassie loves or deeply likes, whatever, Colton. I genuinely think that the forced engagement at the end, between that and Colton talking about engagement, that really fucked her up. But then, in essence, that fucks shit up for Tayshia and Hannah G.
Exactly.
Because, as you said earlier, they were ready for an engagement, or they made themselves get to that point, and then they got it swooped out from underneath them for someone who is sitting here in the seat still is unsure. Yeah. Still unsure. I don't know. That I just felt icky about that, and how Colton, he changed the rules at the end, which is fine. He's allowed to do that. He can totally do that, but that ends up completely blindsiding Tayshia and Hannah G, who really pushed themselves to get to that point. Yeah, and they didn't need to.
And they're now heartbroken way beyond what Cassie would have been.
Right,
way beyond, because they thought they were coming home with a husband.
So that's a tough pill to swallow, and a huge, really blindsided them with that.
When Cassie is fully ready to go home single.
She couldn't wait to get home by herself, lay up in her bed with her mama, and be done with all of this. So that kind of just how, they just neatly packaged it up, we're not getting engaged anymore, we're back, and we're in love, and blah, 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 let's meet my family. It just made me think, damn, poor Tayshia and Hannah G. They really... shit out of luck. They going home empty-handed. Yeah. And the girl who won didn't even have to get engaged.
No. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, they made them do a lot of work.
A lot of work. Yeah. Yes, mentally. A lot. So Colton and Cassie, they head to Mallorca in Spain to go meet his family. Now, Colton says in his little confessional...
I think I know what you're going to say. I was dead.
Oh, God. He said, Cassie is still working through her feelings for me. I'm hopeful for the day that Cassie can say she's in love with me. Is that what you're thinking?
No. I was thinking Cassie could be in love with me by the end of this week. When I tell you, oh my God, I'm laughing like a hyena in my house.
He keeps pushing that timeline.
Yeah. That was the end of the week.
Oh, next week. I'm going to give it one more month, y'all. Let's give it to the end of the quarter.
But they're telling her, we'll just take it day by day. We'll just take it, it's fine.
Lord, he keeps pushing that finish line, giving her all the chances. Cassie, she's the modern day Juan Pablo.
Yeah, damn, yeah.
Juan Pablo ended the season, would not say I love you.
Nope.
Cassie literally is the female Juan Pablo, the 2019 Juan Pablo.
Oh my God. He didn't even end his after the final rose saying I love you.
Nope.
That was terrible.
My nigga went into marriage boot camp, and I don't think he told that girl that he was in love yet.
Poor Ashley.
Poor Ashley. Oh, Lord.
God.
So Colton, he first meets up with the family. So before Cassie comes along, he sits and tells them. First, he opened up joking, saying that he wasn't a virgin anymore. which was a very odd joke.
I know, that was really weird.
Very strange joke. Then he hit them with the just kidding, like,
which was even weirder.
Very weird.
Oh my God.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
So Colton explains to his fam, because they don't know anything yet. So he tells them, you know, that fantasy suites changed everything, and I know you guys were expecting to meet 2 women today, because that's usually how it is. They meet the last 2 girls. Yeah. But actually, you're only going to meet 1. And then he tells them, Cassie broke up with me. And I ended up breaking up things with Tayshia and Hannah, and went back after Cassie, who took me back. Now, the family, all of their faces, they are all eyes darting around the room like what? What?
They all kind of look like, okay, we knew he was crazy, but we didn't know he was this crazy.
The mama looked really concerned.
Yeah, she did.
Like, the dad too, the uncle, everybody was kind of just darting around like, what? Yeah. This sounds awful. So the dad asks flat out, are you in love with Cassie? And Colton says yes. And the dad said, is she in love with you? He said, at this point, no. You looking real crazy in front of your parents right here, Colton.
And step-parents and brother.
Everybody.
Oh, my God.
Lord have mercy. So after all of that, he goes to grab Cassie. And now Cassie, she's about to walk into a tough crowd, because they got the whole lowdown about how you ain't shit and walked away from my son.
Yeah.
And now coming back into his good graces.
Right. And their son, who they have been through now 2 love stories now. Tia and Becca.
And Allie Raisman, whoever broke his heart before, they was able to.
Yeah. So his dad was looking at him before like, you really did all of this to take it day by day with this young lady I'm about to meet? You doing all of this? Because
they see him compromising. They're looking at him and he's like, but I love her, it's great, it's fine, we're not getting engaged, but it's all fine. Oh, she doesn't love me yet, it's fine. And they're all just like, what? That's not why you came here for. Right. Like, what?
Yeah.
So Colin's outside with Cassie, kind of like prepping her. She's nervous as shit. She starts crying. She says, I don't want to go in there confused, and I feel like I am. Like, she's still, in this very moment, still does not know how she feels about you.
Oh, yeah, still.
And is very concerned for herself, because she's about to meet the parents.
Yeah, because there's only more pressure on her.
More pressure, and she's still unsure about him. And, it was very uncomfortable watching that, seeing her crying, and not just being nervous, like, everyone's nervous to meet someone's parents, but, like, crying, being nervous about going in there and trying to prove a love that she's not even sure about. That was wild. And in that moment, I feel like Colton, or what I wrote down was, like, Colton, like, successfully swindled Cassie into believing that she's into him. Because I feel like in this moment, she's starting to recognize, like, I don't even think I do like you. Why are you here? What is happening? I'm meeting your parents. Why is this happening? Like... Lord. So they walk in, she meets the family. The dad asks her, you know, since everything's gone down, have you guys, like, spent time together, had a date, anything? And they both said no. Yeah. Which was very confusing. Like...
Yeah, because after they were in Portugal and got back together, what did they do?
That's what I'm saying. So did they literally immediately fly to Spain to meet the parents, like, the next day? Like, I don't understand why they didn't get a date or a little time in between. Yeah. So that was very perplexing. And then was that the uncle or the stepdad? Who was that?
I guess the stepdad.
Stepdad? Yeah. So he asked, so what's your label? Because you guys aren't engaged. Are you dating? Boyfriend, girlfriend? Right. And
what are you doing?
Colton says, we're taking it day by day.
Day.
We're still figuring it out.
Day. She could have another boyfriend next week because I'm not her boyfriend.
Basically. He couldn't even claim the boyfriend label.
He couldn't even say he was her boyfriend.
Now, the mama, her face in that moment, she was like, who am I sitting here with?
She was ready to fight Cassie.
Why am I meeting you? Is this your friend? Your girlfriend? Your lab partner? Who is you? She really looked really confused. Yeah. And, like, kind of annoyed. Like,
what am I doing here?
What am I doing here? Who is she? Why am I being introduced to her? Who are you? Like,
I'm doing this again. Like, this isn't just you going through this. Yes. We are all emotionally invested in your love story. More than any of these people watching, way more than these fucking producers sitting behind us. We are the ones who are invested and have an unconditional love for you. And I am meeting someone who you can't even call your girlfriend.
The mom mama looked done.
Oh my God.
So Cassie, she says, I didn't know if I could get there, and that's essentially why I left. And, this whole thing's harder than I could imagine. And just the dad, the mom, the stepdad, everyone's faces, like, they're just not into it.
Yeah, no. There was nothing she could say that they would be convinced.
Yeah, they were just not having it. The mom even says in her little interview, she's like, Colton feels like this is his forever love, and Cassie seems to be having a lot of doubt.
Yeah.
Like this.
And I like how they didn't like blame her. They weren't like, Cassie's a bitch or whatever. They were just like, she's not sure, and he's like, this is just odd.
Yeah. Very different pages, different books right now. So Colton sits with his mom. The mom immediately says, like, the fact that she left scares me. Like, I don't want you to be set up for another heartbreak. You need to have an equal partnership.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on, son?
Because she didn't leave in the middle of real-ass life. She left in the middle of, like, the scenario where you are built to fall in love.
Yes.
So, the fact that she left during that is so frightening to somebody.
She's really having some doubt.
Yep, and someone who's been through now 2 marriages, right, that we know. Like, that's a lot.
Yeah. Colton, he just says, I'm confident she can get there.
From what? Based on what?
Based on what? He said, she's the first thing I think about in the morning, the last thing I think about at night.
Oh my God.
The mama again is like, that's all fine and dandy, but I'm gonna need this to be reciprocated. Like, she basically was like, I don't give 2 shits about who you go to bed thinking about. The question is, who the fuck is she thinking about? Is she laying up in that bed and just knocks the fuck out, or is she thinking about you? Like, the mom was just looking at him like, I don't care about you. What do you think about? Who is she thinking about? The fuck? Colton literally has become Tia.
Yeah, yes.
This was Tia.
Ooh, this was karma. Ooh, I know Tia was watching this just howling, laughing with a face mask on.
Yeah. Eating popcorn and just living. This is what he literally was Tia, because Tia was obsessed thinking about him day and night.
Yes, and we didn't know why. It was based off of one weekend.
Yes, one weekend.
Yep.
We had no clue why.
Yeah.
Same here. We have no clue why he's thinking about Cassie day and night. But we know that, or we don't know what the hell she's thinking about day and night. So I don't know. So, meanwhile, the dad is sitting with Cassie. And the dad says, there's something extremely special about you if you're sitting here. Because when Colton loves, he loves hard. Cassie, well, that's also a concern of mine.
Not only do I not love him back, but it's concerning how much he loves me.
How much he loves me. It's a bit alarming. She says, I know how much he cares, and I want him to be with someone who's insanely in love with him. And I'm still hoping for clarity on whether, this is truly going to work out. Now, as she's saying all of this, the dad is looking at her like, the fuck? What in God's green earth am I doing here?
And who are you?
And who are you? You are literally looking me in my eyes saying that my son's love for you is concerning you and that you are wanting him to be with someone who's insanely in love with him, and you don't seem to be the one that is going to give him that. And you're saying that out loud. Like, what? So Cassie now sits with the mom.
Donna, yep.
And the mom, fresh out the gate, let's talk about your decision to bail. I love the way she worded it, too.
Yeah.
Cassie said, it came from knowing why he came here, and that, I'm just under a lot of pressure with, like, the whole engagement thing. That's why he came here, was for that. And the mom says, do you have any concerns about moving forward with him? And Cassie flat out says, we are a little bit on different pages. He's always been a step ahead of me, and I do want to be all in, but I'm not there yet.
Wow.
The mom was literally looking at her sideways. Yeah. Like, her head was tipped to the side, and she was looking at her sideways.
Yeah.
Like, she's failing this Meet the Family.
Yeah, I was about to say, she's like real bold with these words.
She's being honest.
Yeah,
this is how she feels.
Yeah.
We are not on the same page. Like, that's a big thing to say to somebody's mama, but that's literally how she feels.
That's the truth. And I guess she said that as insurance. Like, just in case it didn't work out. Can't blame me.
Can't blame me. I said it. I told you so.
Yeah.
If I was a parent, like, I wouldn't want anything to do with her.
Yeah, no. I was thinking that too. As the brother was sitting there, I'm like, if my brother came to me with this bullshit, I would probably just leave.
I couldn't take any of it seriously.
Yeah, I wouldn't even ask her any real questions.
I wouldn't. Because who are you to my son?
Yeah.
What are we all doing here? You guys have a lot to work out. I don't think I need to be meeting you right now.
Yeah, this is pointless.
Yeah. So, wild. So Colton sits with his dad. The dad, fresh out the gate, asks him, "Are you second guessing at all?" Mm-hmm. Colton says no. The dad's like, "Why?" Flat out, like, there's a lot to second guess here.
Yeah.
Why are you so confident? And then he asks him, like, "Are you basing this on wanting what you can't have?" Like, is this the classic, like, you're chasing after, going after the hard, like, the girl that's hard to get or whatever?
Right. Which is the question we were all asking.
Everybody was asking this. And Colton says, I love hard and fast, and she doesn't, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. He's making a lot of compromises.
He is, yeah.
Really making a lot of compromises.
Oh, my goodness.
So the dad just starts crying at that moment. Yeah. Which is huge, because he don't look like somebody who cries.
No. Especially not on TV.
Especially not on television. He does not look like much of a crier, but he's breaking down. And he says to him, he's like, "I've seen you in love before. It was amazing. And I've seen you hurt. And that shit was devastating for me. And I just hope and pray that she can get there with you. Mm-hmm. Because you don't seem to have concerns, but I'm hella concerned because she did not make me feel very assured that she can get there." Yeah. So, poor thing, the parents. I feel bad for the parents.
I felt horribly because, especially them being divorced too, I'm sure they have guilt associated with that. Ooh. And like what he thinks a loving relationship should be. Like, I'm sure that they have some sort of maybe complex going on there, especially with the way this young man loves people. Yeah. He was talking about not being able to go on without this young lady. And then they meet her and she's like, "Yeah, I don't really know." Like, what? Yeah. So he's probably like, "I can't believe we've been through all of this. Right. You went on so many TV shows, and now we're coming back with the same results."
Oh, Lord. Yeah, it could be a complex, too, that because... And this is me reaching. I don't know about...
Yeah, no, me too.
This is me reaching. Yeah. Because neither one of us come from, like, divorce households. Yeah. I don't know how that manifests in people, but it could be because he's seen his parents divorce that to him, he could have manifested that as they didn't try hard enough. So here he is going to fight tooth and nail to make something work. Yeah. Even if it shouldn't be working. Right. You know what I mean? Right, yeah. So that could be another kind of thing.
Yeah. There's just a lot of gray areas. And that's probably what the dad is just crying about in sadness, but also probably frustration. Yeah. Like,
come on, man. Yeah. This is your third show in 1 year. Like, let's learn something, please. Yikes. So Cassie says goodbye to the family. Colton packs her up in the SUV and basically says, the ball is in her court.
Yeah. Which is just... You toss the ball in her face.
That's right. What? That shit is wild. Like, unreciprocated love is the worst.
Oh my God. It is garbage.
It sucks. Yeah. It really, really sucks. And, like... for him to be at the end, like his last person standing is unreciprocated love. Like,
yeah. And he just couldn't even get there with anybody else who was madly in love.
Like, what is this?
Oh my gosh.
Lord, have mercy. So the next day, Colton picks up Cassie. They're going on a date. So now they are getting to spend some time together, finally. And they're just gonna, explore Mallorca. And Cassie, she says she wants to figure out her feelings once and for all. Because she hasn't had an entire show, the same amount of time as all these other girls to figure this shit out. Lord have mercy. And so yeah, they're going to spend their dates. This is what made me feel like weird about that. She said she's going to figure out her feelings once and for all, but they're going on yet another like fairy tale bachelor date.
Yes,
like, this is still not the real world. It's still, you're on these skewed dates that are designed for you to fall in love. I'm going to need you to go home and live in real life. Yeah. Because you've been going on these fairy tale dates and didn't figure shit out. So... I don't know.
And again, if you are going on a fairy tale date with somebody and you still don't know...
Right.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So they ride off to this like cliff, and Colton says they're gonna have a picnic down below, and there's like a whole picnic basket set up, and he tells her that they have to rappel down the mountain to go.
Did you immediately think of Tayshia?
Yes, this was Tayshia date. This was a Tayshia date.
Yep.
And like
this was probably the date for Tayshia.
Another adventure or something.
Yep.
Why are we still going on like these bachelor adventurous dates? Like, can't they just go for dinner and just like talk and like figure this shit out?
Right.
Like, I thought this was stupid. Like,
I thought it was like they tried to make it metaphorical.
Yeah,
but
repelling towards their love.
It's enough. Shit. It's enough with the scene with the puppy by himself. Like, it's enough.
Exactly. So they repel and sit for the little picnic.
Yeah.
And Colton asks her, what scares you about being with me? Mm-hmm. She takes a long pause. Good question. Long pause. She said, it's not you. It's just being in a relationship in general and the commitment that scares me.
Also fell out laughing here.
What? Do you know what show you are on, Cassie? Do you know what you signed up for?
Oh my god.
This is not Supermarket Sweep. We are on The Bachelor. Like,
you signed up to be this man's wife.
The commitment of all commitments.
As your daddy told you.
Yes. Yep. The next commitment to God. And you are literally saying here that you're not even ready for relationship commitment. Like, boyfriend. You're afraid of that.
Yeah.
What are you doing here? Mm-hmm. So she tells some story about how she dated somebody in college and he was going to propose and planned it all out, and then he became like controlling and then talks about how like being a relationship to her is just like scares her to not have her freedom, and she doesn't want to have to change anything for someone. Valid fear. I get it.
It is.
It's a valid fear, but yet again, you are confirming that you are just not ready for this.
Yeah, and that you signed up for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
She came here for some other shit.
Yeah.
She definitely didn't come here for a relationship.
Yeah.
At all. Because going into a relationship, you know that you're going to compromise. You know that there are aspects that you're not going to... you don't change yourself when you're in a successful relationship, but you give and take and you...
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
But she's saying, like, I don't want to do any of that. Like, I want the pure freedom.
Yeah, I'm not compromising at all.
Not compromising. It's like, that's fine. You're 23. You shouldn't have to.
No.
I don't think you should even be in this mess. Your ass should be back living your freedom.
Yeah.
But that's not what you signed up for.
Nope.
So that's what's just, like, confusing.
This is the difference between 22, 23-year-old Becca M.
Yes.
Who ready and sacrificed her 20s already. She is bamboo my mama. Mm-hmm. And this girl who's like, I'm just not ready to have a big group of friends.
Yeah. I just want to have bonfires and like go out with my friends still. And it's like, you should be able to do that. You absolutely should. Mm-hmm. But you on The Bachelor, honey. Like, I'm going to need you to read that contract and see what the name of that show title is. It's called The Bachelor, and you are supposed to be getting married at the end. So, Lord. So, Colton just talks a bunch about how compromise and relationships are all about trust, and, I want you to live your life, and,
It also got me thinking about how she has been in now 2 very stifling situations in her relationships and her romantic relationships, because that Viola College, they don't want you to do shit.
Yeah.
So she was already being controlled in that situation by the institution, then by the man as well. Wow. So I don't know what she was doing.
Yeah.
Nothing but the library.
Yeah.
And then now she's in The Bachelor, and he's like, want to meet my family? We're going to be in love by the end of the week.
That's true.
So this is probably very scary for somebody who's been in so many different controlling situations. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to put it on her family, but I can only imagine her family is not exactly like the freedom love hippie types. Mm-hmm, Guessing they have some rules in that house.
Probably, yeah.
So yeah, she's just been controlled and stifled a lot, and is probably just feeling it,
and wants the freedom, as she should.
As she should.
But that's not what you signed up for, my girl.
No, nope.
That's not what you signed up for. So yeah, he kind of like makes her feel good. She eats it all up. Time for the nighttime portion of their date. They sit for dinner, and Cassie says, we both needed last week. It was hard for both of us.
Was it? It was hard for you?
You caused this mess, bitch. Like, what? We both needed it. Cole's like, I didn't need any of this.
I didn't need none of this.
I could have done without this, but sure. And she says, I feel more confident. You've taught me a lot about what a good relationship looks like. and, illuminated for me, like, what I'm scared of and how I can overcome that. And so I think she kind of had a moment with herself, like, realizing she has a fear of commitment and freedom and all that stuff. So then finally, Cassie says, I want you to know that I am sure, and whatever happens after this, I want to be all in.
Yes.
So this is the first moment of, like, actual conviction, and I'm here for you, Colton, that we literally have gotten this entire, like, mess this whole season. Colton whips out the fantasy suite card.
Immediately. No dinner, no drink, no nothing.
Right? He ain't trying to have her change her mind real quick.
No.
Whips out this fantasy suite card from under his placemat, and they both obviously accept. Head off to the fantasy suites. They lay on the bed. They're making out. And Colton very, like, animatedly kicks everybody out the room. They're breaking the fourth wall again.
Yeah, I get there were mad producers in the camera.
Producers, camera people, PAs, interns. Yeah. He's kicking everybody out. Then they come back to demic them. One of the camera guys is on screen. He's like, good luck, guys.
When he said that, I died laughing.
The camera guy?
Yeah, when he just looked at them like, good luck.
Right. Because we know what's not about to happen, probably. But good luck. Yeah. Just so much buildup. So much buildup. So then we return to the live studio audience. On the stage, we have Sydney, Onyeka, and Demi, Ben Higgins, Jason, and Gospel Chris. Who I forgot was with Crystal.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're still together.
I was like, okay, he's in a relationship. That's cute. So Demi always got the quips. Love Demi. She says, I hope Cassie jumps on Colton like a Portuguese fence. Sydney made a good point. She said if they do have sex, it'll be makeup sex and his first time all wrapped up into one.
Which is exciting.
Which is very exciting. Gospel Chris also made a good point. He said the fantasy suite is usually more about them getting, like, alone time away from cameras to have, like, deep, serious talk. It's not always about sex. And he admitted that him and Crystal, when they had their fantasy suite in Bachelor in Paradise, that they didn't have sex at that time. So made some good points. So now back to the show. It's the morning after.
They didn't have sex and then they got engaged the next day. Those two.
Oh shit, they did.
Yeah, wow, Chris.
I forgot. He proposed to her that next day?
He proposed to her.
Wow, yeah.
Shit. Yeah, they really are in love. God damn.
Oh shit, yeah. So the morning after the fantasy suite, Colton saying his little confessional last night with Cassie was incredible. We did what was best for our relationship, and a gentleman never kisses and tells.
Which is what they say when they have sex.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Really?
If they had sex that night. It would be wild to go from, like, 0 to 100. Like, she just decided at dinner that she's like, okay, cool.
I'll go out with you.
Yeah, I'll go out with you. You can be my boyfriend, fine. Like, we can hold hands, okay. To then taking his virginity, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't have sex. Like, I think by now they've had sex, but I don't think, I wouldn't be surprised if in that night they didn't have sex.
Oh,
but
goodness.
I don't know. But yeah, it's to be expected that we weren't going to get the answer.
Yeah, which is really annoying.
Very
because
annoying.
They've built up this entire profile.
Entire season about this man's virginity. And then don't tell us anything, but whatever. And then Colton says, I love Cassie, and I'm hopeful for a beginning of the new amazing chapter, and we're finally on the same page.
Are you?
Are we?
Yeah, I feel like you're not.
What? So that was the end of, like, the show, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Turn back to the live studio audience, and Colton and Cassie come walking out hand in hand. Cassie, her outfit was really cute.
Very cute.
Really, really cute.
Yep.
It was a white jumpsuit. It was a halter, had, like, ties in the back, had cute little side.
A high neck halter, which she loves.
Yeah, she does love a high neck.
Yep.
It was, like, cutouts at the side. It was white.
Yeah,
so, that was made on purpose.
Yeah,
and they looked cute. Shorter bob to her hair. And they were all cute and, lovey-dovey. She says, we're super in love. So we finally got it back from, got it the other side from her saying that she is in love. And Chris Harrison knows an engagement on the horizon. And she says it's something we've definitely talked about. Colton says, there's so much to learn. We're just enjoying dating.
Which is great.
That's great.
That's so great.
I wish y'all just led with that the whole time. Instead of talking about this fake-ass, phony-ass, dumbass engagement.
That you never wanted.
That you never fucking wanted, my dude. Like, God. So we learned that Colton has moved to LA. Mm-hmm. And he says, we're going to be traveling a lot over this next year.
Thank God.
They're on a press tour. That's what he meant by.
Oh shit! You're right.
You gotta promote the damn show, and one of those probably gonna be on Dance with the Stars or some shit. Like,
oh my God!
Yep. So that's what he was really talking about.
Oh.
And then I hope they travel.
They go somewhere
because he needs to get out of this damn country a little bit more often.
Yeah.
But I took that as they were like going on press tour basically.
Yeah.
So then Chris Harrison says, we have some video footage, after you guys left Spain. And it's just them kind of like spending their time together.
Video footage we saw of Ari and Becca, of Becca and Garrett.
Same shit.
The same thing.
Mm-hmm. They spend their weekends together. Mm-hmm. She says, this is better than I could have ever imagined. He's legitimately my best friend. Mm-hmm. And, looking back, I now know how I felt towards him, yada yada. So then we get a little footage of them like sitting on a couch, and she shows them this video that she made for him, where she was reading from her journal, like journal entries that she kept over the course of filming the show. Mm-hmm. And she read one journal entry where she admitted that she was in love with him. Yeah. And she said that she wrote that entry pretty early on, but she just wouldn't allow herself to feel it. And so, I'm not really sure, but...
Yeah, I feel like that was exaggerated. Well, I'm not going to say she lied, but I will say that that was exaggerated.
What do you mean? That she didn't write it as early on as she did? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either she didn't write it as early on as she did, or she didn't say that. Or that. Either one. Yeah. But there's no way some man is sitting in front of you shaking, saying, I love you, I'll take it day by day, and you just can't manage to even give him some comfort and say that you love him when you loved him 3 weeks ago. Yeah. There's no way.
That's true.
Unless
she didn't crumble.
Monster.
In that scene, she didn't crumble at all. She was very strong and like, I am going home. Yeah. He was literally shaking. Yeah. And she did not say, like...
insecure, talking to her dad. Saying, oh, I think I love him, but... Yeah. So, okay. But okay, Cassie, you be lying, so... We know this. We know this.
If it is true, it's cute. Yeah. If it's true, it's cute. That she had these feelings, she journaled about it, but she and then held herself back or whatever. Right. Anyways. So she shows him the video, and then she looks at him and she says, I'm so in love with you, and I don't want you to ever doubt that. Mm-hmm. So now she's full in. Yeah. She's fully in.
Now she's in.
Yeah. It took her a while to get here, but now she's in love and can say to him without reservation. Yep. It was all cute and stuff. So back on the couch with Chris Harrison, Colton presents her with his final rose. Do the whole moment of presenting her.
Watching them together live, I wrote down, I felt like I was watching two living Crest white strips. Oh, geez. They were just sitting there, just like pasted on these smiles, and they were just so happy, and it was like watching two little like puppies playing. Yeah. It was so
They're
strange.
In love.
Yeah.
They're in love.
But I could get used to this ending. If this is the ending, I can get used to this.
I much preferred this ending. With let's get rid of the forced engagement. Yeah. Let's meet the parents. Yep. Let's see them go have fun after the show and whatever. And it feels a little bit more authentic. Yes. Like, I genuinely do believe that they were in love. Yeah. Watching them on the couch. Yes. And not being led to believe that because now they're engaged. Right. So I have to force myself to think they're in love or whatever. So it was cute. So, of course, Chris Harrison asks, what happened in the fantasy suite? Can you tell us now? And Colton just says, it's between us, and I've been very candid about my virginity, but right now I wanted to keep it to each other, like between the two of us.
Since there's two of them.
Yeah, so... I mean, they've obviously had sex at this point.
Obviously.
I would hope so. So, for poor Colton's sake.
And Cassandra Ann's sake.
And then... randomly,
oh my god, this another moment that had me down and out.
I was just confused. So Chris Harrison announces literally so randomly, there was no transition, we now have a live performance by Air Supply.
Air Supply.
What?
Who the fuck is Air Supply?
Who is that? And then it literally was a live band. These dusty old white men were singing.
Like the skeletons. You know, you see skeletons like playing instruments and stuff with like little hats on. That's what they look like.
They're old and decrepit.
They were so old looking.
So just bizarre. Why was this necessary?
It was so weird.
So Air Supply's singing. Then we're seeing like video footage of Cassie and Colton like in the background kissing. And then they're on stage dancing. It was just...
They definitely don't know who they are.
No idea who these people are on stage.
And I didn't know who they were.
No. It was just pure Bachelor ridiculousness.
Yeah, it was so weird.
So then we come back from the commercial break, and Chris Harrison announces that our new Bachelorette is here. And surprise, surprise, we all know it was Hannah B.
Yep.
Comes out on stage. She looked cute. She had a little red, like, it was like a red Bachelorette dress.
Like exaggerated shoulder stitch
situation. First thing out her mouth, Roll Tide. And I'm done.
And that's the only thing out of her mouth, really.
But yeah, because she didn't really say much.
She didn't say anything.
Still struggling to piece words together. I feel like we're watching a female Garrett. Getting her chance after that. Because Garrett wasn't good at his words.
Right.
When he strung them together, it was a struggle. And with Hannah, too, like everything she says, I'm like, come, you got it. Come on, girl. You got it. like root for her to just like string a sentence together.
Yeah. Just basic. Just to talk.
Basics, yes. Lord. So she comes out, you know, she's so grateful for the opportunity. And then Chris Harrison shows the moment when they told her that she was the Bachelorette, where she was like FaceTiming with Chris Harrison, and you know, he tells her you've been chosen, and she just starts crying and tears and, you know, all this stuff. As I was watching this, like, this is a very happy moment for this young woman.
Yes.
Her life's about to change.
Right.
She's getting named the Bachelorette.
Yeah.
She's so excited. She's crying, tears, all that stuff. As I was watching this, I literally felt dead inside.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I actually felt like a dying inside. Because I felt like I was watching white privilege staring at me in the fucking face. Laughing without stringing together any words.
Yes.
Because Tayshia just left looking phenomenal. Divorced, number one. First divorced Bachelorette, it would have been.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Black. And maybe Latina. Great family. So many, all these qualities. Smart, beautiful,
deserving of a chance of love.
Put a sentence together.
A couple. Yep. More than just this one little girl. Yep.
Adventurous.
All of the qualities that we look for in a Bachelorette, yet is overlooked once again
for Hannah B.
Yeah.
And why? Because she's like goofy and relatable.
Yeah, that's what they're leading with.
That's
exactly
crazy.
That. Yeah. Your sentiments exactly what I felt. I said Hannah B becoming Bachelorette is a reminder of just how unabashedly white this show is.
Yeah.
How they just pander wholeheartedly without shame to their middle America white bread audience. And how Rachel Lindsay's season was like them throwing us a bone.
Yeah.
But ultimately this show is not for us.
No.
They do not give a shit. Any talk of diversity from the producers, cast and directors, executives, all those interviews they do and all the think pieces, it's all a pile of horse shit.
Yeah.
I'm done. Like, at this point, like, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
The show is what it is. We need to stop even having expectations and hopes and dreams that they give a shit about making this thing look a little bit more reflective of American society. Because Hannah B is not the best choice.
No,
I don't give a shit what y'all think and what they say. She is not the best choice.
No. She's not even the second best choice.
No. She's a choice.
Yeah, I get. They're all a choice.
They're all a choice, but she was not the best choice.
Yeah, she's not the second or third. Yeah. Now that I really think about it.
She's chosen because she's goofy. Yeah. She has the whole Roll Tide Southern thing going.
Yep, Miss Alabama, so
pageantry thing. And yeah, that's like it.
That's it, yeah.
And that's really it. So Chris Harrison announces, well, the show's going to start right now. We have your first 5 men that you're going to meet.
Oh my God.
And they bring in the whole set and everything like that.
Yeah.
And she's just like,
and they left her on stage by herself.
Yeah, she was flailing.
Like, you couldn't put Sydney and Onyeka and Demi up there to help her?
No, fuck with her.
I know, clearly. Yeah.
Don't fuck with that girl. So we meet her first 5 bachelors. What do you call it?
Contestants.
Yeah. First up was Luke. He was okay looking.
Yeah.
He, to me, looked like somebody who should be cast on MTV's The Challenge.
I was gonna say. He looked like Corey.
He looked like Corey, kinda. Yeah. Yep. He looked like that's more his show. Like he looked more kind of like a meathead. Like he's got a competition, like Amazing Race type show.
Yeah.
Not on this one, but he came very direct, like super in her face. Like, you're the only one I wanted to be the next Bachelorette. You know, I can't wait for us to get to know each other. Just like, very intense.
Clearly here for Instagram fame.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
Clearly.
100%.
Yeah.
The fact that he looks like he could be cast on 5 other different shows lets you know that he's just like here for reality show.
Yeah.
Period. Next guy, you know, send in the black guy to show the diversity. Dustin. He was cute. He came out, he had a little maroon colored suit.
Yeah. Nose ring.
Oh, he had a nose ring?
He had a nose ring.
Yeah, that's cute.
Yeah.
He came out with 2 glasses of champagne.
Yeah, this was cute.
It was cute. He
Yeah.
said, I want to propose a toast, because that's one thing she does not do very well.
No.
That's like the thing they keep.
Oh my god, and they have to
for.
propose a toast every episode, basically, with the rose ceremony. And they still hired this girl? Oh my god.
That's true. She's going to have to propose toast
Every week.
Season. Oh god. So he proposed a toast. Cheers to amazing journey, getting to know each other, you know, yada yada. He was cute. Third guy, Cam from Austin, Texas. Tall white guy, breaks into a rap.
Yeah, this was offensive. To me. I was offended.
Did his little rap. I don't know what he really rapped about. But
Yeah, I wasn't listening.
Yeah. Next guy, I said president of SAE, captain of the road team, Connor.
Like, and Junior.
Junior is right.
Not even senior.
He looked like a full current president of his fraternity.
Yes.
And current captain of the rowing team.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe lacrosse.
So young, yes. Yeah. Connor walks in. He's tall as shit, so he brings her a step stool, tells her to stand on the stool, you know, so we can see eye to eye.
Yeah, and this is our first step.
Something.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Last guy, Luke, another Luke. And Mr. Luke here, a little sexual innuendo.
He did, yeah. Also looking suspiciously like Nick Vale.
Yes, forgot when he walked out. I was like, Nick. Yeah. But then when you got a close look, he ain't look nothing like nothing.
Yeah,
like
it was from far away.
From far away. Yes.
I was like, oh,
right. So
I liked his outfit though. Did you see all the patterns he had on? He had mad patterns on.
Okay.
He had like 3 different patterns on, but they look cute.
Okay, Luke.
I was like, all right, Luke,
bringing in a little fashion sense.
Yeah.
Let's see. He said, you know, I don't go down. She's from the South.
Yeah.
He apparently is not. So he said, I don't go down South often, but for you, I'll go down anytime.
Get by Rose with that.
Yeah, Luke, you come right over here. Oh Lord, coming in hot and heavy.
Yep.
So Hannah, she's all, you know, just bubbly talking. She just
like blabbering,
never saying anything of worth or saying anything coherent. Just blabbering.
Yeah.
You know, they're all great. Like, I'm handing out a rose right now. And so Chris Harrison's like, all right, what you? And so they bring the guys back, and Hannah, she gives a long-ass speech of nothing.
And they knew, because I was looking at the clock, I was like, damn, it's like 9:54.
We are running over time.
I'm like, wow, she has 6 minutes to do this? I'm like, god damn, that's a long time. But she sure did take 5.5 minutes to sit up there and give that rose
and talked and said all this mess. Lord have mercy. And decided to give her rose to Cam. That was the guy that rapped.
Knew it was gonna be him.
So yeah, that's setting the tone for
the white guy who rapped.
The white guy who rapped. All right. And that was the season, my friends.
Quite a season.
Quite a season. Wow. Do you have final thoughts? I have a lot of final thoughts.
Oh my god, final thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Final thoughts. My only and most important final thought was that this season was way better than I thought it was going to be.
It did. It turned out to be a lot better.
Way better.
By the end.
Yeah, yes. By the end. Mm-hmm. By the end. In the middle it was a little rocky, but by the end I was like, wow, I would definitely tune into this regardless of podcasting or not. Yeah. Like, I would be glued to the TV. It was messy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was good. Mm-hmm. It was good.
It was, yeah. Yeah, I would say this season was definitely a doozy. Mm-hmm. We did predict it was going to be a hot flaming mess because we knew that Colton was not ready.
Yeah.
We said from the beginning he is too young for this mess and not emotionally together because we saw how he was crumbling on Paradise. And boy, did he deliver.
Yeah.
He surely delivered. Now, Hannah B is Bachelorette now. Mm-hmm. Not very excited, obviously. Mm-hmm. Like, if we were going to pick anyone from this season, I would have much preferred, obviously, to see Tayshia.
Obviously.
Not just because she's black, but she's just a grown woman with, like, a story.
Right.
She's grown. She's a divorcee. She made it to the top 3.
Yep.
Like, she's
a very different love story than what we've seen before.
We've seen. I feel like we've seen Hannah B in the same seasons we've seen Becca and JoJo and Desiree and all these other people. It's the same shit. Tayshia had been white, her story was way more compelling to me than Hannah B. So.
Exactly. Because it's the same thing with Elise.
Yeah.
Would have loved to see Elise stand up there. Yeah.
A little bit more of a story to these people than we're just getting this goofy, roll tide white, like, little, like, white pageant girl.
Yeah.
Like, it's not very exciting. I will say I'm a little nervous to recap her season.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I would, we're gonna go into it if we recap. You know, sign up for the Patreon. Yeah. Still if. You know, we want to go in with an open mind. Want to give the girl a clean slate. But I can only call it as I see it. And if she is still shouting fucking roll tide every 5 seconds, and she still cannot hold the conversation, and she still has that damn perma smile and is trying to just get by on that.
Yeah.
We're not going to be very forgiving. No. Because I can only call it as I see it.
We're going to have to really focus on the contestants.
Yeah.
Like we did with Ari. Ari had a great batch of girls.
You did,
So we'll see with this young lady how this goes.
Yeah, but also seeing how she's 23.
Yeah.
The slate of men are going to be very young and immature.
Yeah.
And, like, I really didn't like watching that this season.
Yeah,
how
me either.
Young they were. It just felt like I wasn't really watching The Bachelor.
Yeah.
Like, I was not a fan of that.
Yeah.
Also, seeing that she's from the South, they're probably going to cast a ton of, like, Southerners. No shade to our Southern listeners.
Shout out to you guys.
Shout out to y'all. But I'm going to hope and pray to God that they have hired a new background check company.
Oh.
Because I already foresee some racist mess being dug up from the interwebs.
Yep.
I already foresee old pictures of guys in blackface from Halloween. Or this guy at a Trump rally.
Definitely.
Or this
with
guy, tweeting shit about women. Like, so I'm already...
And her not giving 2 fucks.
Hell no.
Yep.
Hell no. I don't have high expectations for 24-year-old white men from Clemson, South Carolina. I don't have high expectations
from anywhere, but definitely not from the south of the Mississippi.
Yes, my standards are low, and I'm expecting some bullshit. Yeah. So I'm just hoping that they've hired a new company to clean up the mess, and they give us an appropriate group of young men, or else I'm really going to feel some type of way recapping this here season.
Yes. Because, oh my God, they really had a sex offender on Becca's season.
A full convicted sex offender. Leo and his misogynistic mess. Yeah. Garrett, who is MAGA hat wearing, Garrett Kushner. So they better get their shit together if they're, because for Hannah B season, they're going to be young and very Southern.
Yep.
Young Southern white men, I'm afraid of them joints.
Yeah.
That is not my cup of tea.
No,
so that makes me very nervous. So I hope they get their background check shit together. So, I don't know.
We'll have a lot to talk about.
We will.
Yep.
It's been fun, y'all.
It has.
It's been a great season.
It has been.
It's been a lot. That being said, we are going on a much needed break.
Ooh.
We need to take a hiatus to collect ourselves. But we will be
bits
back.
of life that I have left over.
Life, exactly. Lord. We are going to take a little hiatus. We will still be live on Instagram and Twitter and all that jazz. So stay tuned. But we'll be back maybe late April, early May-ish.
Yep.
Hopefully when the cast bios are released for Bachelorette.
We'll be here.
You know, keep posted on our social media.
Yeah.
We'll post all the details on our upcoming Patreon accounts. So if you want to stick with us, if you want us to recap Hannah B's season, if you want to hear our voices next season, support us.
Which will be needed.
Which will be much needed with this season that's about to come and what I'm predicting from this Roll Tide mess. If you want us to stick around, stay tuned with all the details for our Patreon account and how you can support us through next season. As always, rate, review, subscribe. Hit us up on Twitter, email, Facebook, Instagram, all that jazz, all the merch. And until then, bye guys.
Bye guys.